understandable that we want to connect and engage with our political leaders. But above and beyond that, you must be the best politician of your life. Absolutely. Because if you engage with them and you don't have any value to offer, it's just a waste of your time. A total waste of your time. Because if you think that you want to hail them, I'm sure they have better hailers than you. If you want to kiss their legs, I'm sure they have better people that do that. The only way that you can position yourself as a strategic influence in their lives is through the value that you offer. And by the way, the whole idea of this conference and this seminar is to offer you incredible value that you become irresistible in the marketplace. So if you're outside, this is a call to resume sitting. The training is continuing right away. And without further ado, should we find people that are still outside? We should not find them. Why? We should. I feel like we should find them. If we find them, I mean, it will make people want to return back. What do you think? Let's vote. We should seize their lunch. Please, oh, my house is not very close to this place. And part of my selling point is my smile. If I cannot smile again, I don't know what is going to happen. But please, let's come back inside. We're ready to start. If your friends are outside, go ahead, give them a call, return them back to the hall. Progressives, where are your team members? They're not progressives. Marvelous, sorry. Where are your team members? They are not here. Call them, let them resume sitting. We are starting right away. So very quickly, I want to invite to the microphone a gentleman, a leader, a thought leader, as a matter of fact, a man with experience, not just theoretical experiences, backed with examples that will tailor us in the direction of where we want to go. You would agree with me that the people that have been on this stage have done much more than just speak. They've given us practical examples, approaches, and strategies that we can implement in our own businesses, irrespective of the level of operation or engagement that we're currently undertaking. To move the needle further in this conversation is somebody that I have the honor and pleasure of welcoming to the microphone. He's no other than, may I just also say that before now, when he came to Abuja, I think that his training was the best of all the trainings. So you are getting undiluted resource from this speaker. Please put your hands together with me to talk about understanding the importance of people and teams, Dr. Bode Shogu. Please put your hands together for him.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be in your midst this afternoon. And I want to commend the leadership of the APC Progressive Wing for this opportunity and for the yeoman's job that they are doing in contributing to making the entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs to be able to ply their trade, those that have already been in business, for them to be able to improve further. Let me just make a quick correction. I was cracking this joke with my daughter yesterday or 2 days ago. I'm not a doctor. I'm a mister, but I was telling her that wherever I go, they say doctor, and I said, maybe I'll go and do my PhD now. So simply mister, and what I'm going to do, I had the previous speakers, they spoken glowingly about how to do standards, systems, processes, putting structures and procedures in place. Now, what we are looking at now, what I'll be looking at is understanding the importance of people and teams. You may have the most grandiose plan, the best systems and processes in place. If you do not have the people, that place, that business will collapse. And so it is important for you to know the reason why your organizations can succeed or the organization goes down. Is somebody helping me, media? Let's quickly go to the next slide. So just a bit about myself. I have some over 3 decades of experience behind me under my belt. I'm retired, and I was telling one of the speakers there that I'm a consultant. I'm retired and I'm a pensioner. I say, when you don't have anything doing, you say you're a consultant. So this is what I do now. But I know that I've been in people management roles for the greater part of my working life before I retired. But some of the places where I worked in my past corporate life, I worked for Cadbury at some point in human resources function. I worked for Shell. I retired from Shell. And then when the power sector was deregulated or privatized, I was the Vice President, Human Resources and Corporate Services for EcoDisco before I call it quits, and this is what I do now. That is just a bit about myself. And I tell people, yeah, if you want to clap, clap. Because I'm an elder statesman, I'm a senior citizen, and so you can clap if you want to clap. Now, one of the things I tell people is that for every training, I look forward to learning from people. And what I'd say is that just to let you know, yeah, because actually I left university over 40 years ago. Now, even my working life is for 20 years, 5 years. If everybody here is just 2 years of experience, when you do that, right? It drops whatever I have. So I want to learn from you too, from the questions you are going to be asking. So I want it to be as participatory and interactive as much as possible. So I'll start with this proverb that says, he who thinks is leading and has no one following him is just taking a walk. That's the importance of people. Quickly, let's go to the next slide. The next slide, please. So the objectives of why we are here this morning or this afternoon is to look at people, introduce and embed leadership techniques and qualities in you, in your business, whether you are doing business, whether you are working for people, whether you are aspiring to be a business person. And then the next one is about helping you to improve communication. The last speaker, I sat in, even the previous speaker, everybody was talking about communication. And there's a phrase I say, you cannot not communicate. You cannot not communicate. Most problems, whether in the home front, whether in the business environment, in the work environment, when you do not communicate well, you will run into problems. And so The other thing I want us to look at is that you will be looking at how to understand the business of working in teams and achieving both personal, team, and organizational goals. Next slide, please. Next slide. So this is an overview of how we are going to go. Personal leadership, being yourself, leading others, helping others to be themselves, and understanding team leadership, team dynamics, and then I'll leave some time for Q&A, for discussions, and whatever we want to do with ourselves. Now, what is the biggest thing you can, next slide, please. What is the biggest thing you can think of that will grow your career, your business, or help you to achieve your vision? That's a question. Because we don't have time, I could have said we should do some random questions around the table. But quickly, let's go on to the next slide. The next slide, please. The next slide, what do I need to do to take with me to achieve my big goal? What are your business goals? What are your business objectives? What is your vision? What do you need, or who do you need to where you are going? It is the people. It is the people. If you have the best brands in the world, if you have the best market in the world, if your people are not there to support you, that business will not go far. Why? Because your business, the people that are with you, they will kill the business, right? And that is why businesses go down, not because they don't have the best products, not because they don't have the market, but because they do not have the people who will articulate, who will carry the vision, who will do what, who would run with the vision. So the people factor is the most important thing, and that is why we are looking at this morning. Thank you. Next slide, please. So number one, be yourself, or being yourself. The first thing about being yourself is to know yourself. It is one of those things on the Greek, by the Greek, under the Greek, this thing, man, know thyself. If you do not know yourself, you cannot be yourself. If you do not know who you are, you cannot be who you want to be. Now, so the next thing is be authentic. Don't be another person's identity. So one of the key ways of being yourself is to be authentic. Authenticity is very key. If you are not authentic about what you are doing, you'll be a copycat. And if you are a copycat, you can never be like the original cat, right? The next thing is understand and embrace who you are at your core. Live your life. Don't live another person's life. When you try to do that, there will be problems. So if you are a business owner, you can do what? You can copy other people's skills and the things, their business models. But the truth of the matter is that you adapt it to your own environment. Adapt it to your own business. No two businesses are the same. And that is why it is said that the mentality of abundance, abundant mentality, that is where the birds, you can never see the birds vying or fighting for space in the sky. That is abundant mentality, that the sky is enough for all the birds to fly. So it's important for you to know this and know that your own business, you cannot adopt another man's business model. You can adapt, because there are two different things. So I want you to know that. So you should also, to be yourself is to know what are the unique skills that I have. Some people, it will be the product. Some people, it will be the marketing strategy. For some people, it will be the people that they have. And you will hear organizations tell you, our greatest asset is what? Is our people. Our greatest asset is our people. Some people, it is their product. But I can bet you, if you do not have the people, they will sabotage whatever product you have, right? And that is why we don't know where Motorola is now. Motorola used to be the best in terms of mobile phones. Nokia is also there. You can't get them again. It is not because they didn't have the products, but the people who would envision that there's a problem ahead. How do we continually reinvent the products that we have? If you want to do research and development, it is your people who will do that for you. Now, what are your unique skills? Dismiss other people's judgment of you. You are you. I'm not saying that don't get feedbacks from people about how you are doing in your business, but don't let that one tie you down. Don't let that be your scorecard about what people think about you. Next slide, please. How to be yourself. Have conviction. What are your personal convictions? The last speaker was telling you when others are saying they couldn't make businesses, they couldn't find what to do, they did what? There was a conviction. There's a conviction that we can go this way. And that is very important for you. Know your stuff. Knowing your stuff is knowing your business inside out. Know the business of your business. Who are your competition? Who are your competitor? Who are your comparator companies? Your competitors is not the same thing as your comparator. The lady that is here, she started 8 years ago. She's grown so much. You cannot say you are competing. I mean, you are competing, but it's not your comparator company. Are you getting my point? It's not your comparator company. You might say, I want to aspire to be there, but you must know who your mates are in terms of ensuring that people, that your business, you are comparing like apple to apple. Know your environment. Where is the ecosystem where you are operating? Where is the environment where you are operating your business? It's very important. Build self-awareness. I'm sure somebody must have spoken to you amongst the speakers about emotional intelligence, self-awareness, knowing who you are, knowing other people's feelings, managing it, and all of that stuff, your social skills. But there's a fifth one that I want to tell you, your adversity quotients. How do you move from failure? Are you mopping and doing pity party, or you face fast and move forward? You fail fast and move forward. Be open and honest about what you don't know. Now, a lot of the time, people want to hide and pretend that they know it. Anybody, you can learn from anybody at any point in time. And I said something in one of my, in my corporate life, when we were doing some change and transformation thing, we said, look, you can borrow shamelessly and steal. That's it, stealing something with pride, if it is a good idea. Borrow shamelessly, steal with pride. All that you need to do is put a seed there, copyright. I took this from so-and-so, Dio Israel. Credit to Dio Israel. It's very simple. People will know because everybody will pick something from somewhere. Use positive self-talk, positive thought about yourself. I am Bode Shogo. I can do this thing. It is important for you to know that. Don't always say, in the light of what somebody said, the parent was this, was that. Don't have a persistent view about yourself, about your business. And always get out of your comfort zone. If you do not, you won't be able to take risk. Risk takers are those that are successful. When people tell you about the story of how they started, you'll be amazed about how they fell and stood up and fell and stood up and fell until they were able to stand on 2 feet. I have some interest in some other organizations that we work now. And last week we were just making jest of ourselves, where we had gone to look for business in the last 6 years. But the point is that the day you hit the bullseye, nobody would know that you've been looking for where to get some footing in the door. Get out of your comfort zone. If you don't, you may not be able to make a headway for your business. Next slide, please. So we go quickly, helping others to be themselves. Life is good when you are happy, but life is better when other people are happy because of you. How do you develop the people that are working for you? And if you are working in an organization, how are you also developing those that are your colleagues? Because you have some unique selling point. You have some skills, some competencies that set you apart. So how are you sharing it? If you don't share it, somebody else will share it. They will get it from somewhere. Like some people would, in organizations, what they want to do is basically to say, let me hide it so that I'll be the star. You cannot be the star. And if you are the star, it cannot be perpetually. Right? The next thing, so how do you help people, other people to be themselves? Number one is to believe in other people as well. Believe in the people that are working for you. Don't write off anybody. Everybody has gotten some things that God has deposited in them. As a leader, it is for you to be able to find out those things. And let me just quickly speak to something that I forgot. In the place where you work, if you own a business, the people that you employ, they will be rude to you. The people you employ, you are paying their salaries, they would insult you. Okay? It is for you to be able to manage that one. I'm not even talking of somebody who is now your boss, who owns a business where you are living, where you are working and is paying you. You must know that, because that is the nature of human interaction. The second bullet there, can you please move forward? I'm already talking about helping others to be themselves. No. Yes, this one. Why do you need to have individual development plan? Someone said, there is nothing as unequal as equal treatment of unequals. There is nothing as unequal, as unfair, as equal when you treat unequals equally. So every of your people, they must have their own individual development plan. They would not be going at the same pace and at the same rate. So look at everybody. These are your strengths. These are your the opportunities that you have to grow. You must be able to get it for each person. Create a safe haven for your people. Mistakes are good opportunities to learn. And learning is very key. Learning is very key. Don't let people feel, oh, I know you won't get it. The moment you are doing that, your work, your staff, your people, they will be intimidated. And that is very key. Even drivers, even your gate man can work for you. One of my friends who retired from the CBN said some years ago, he told us this story, real life story. There was a machine that was not working. I think it was not counting machine. And they were looking for how to buy another set of machines because the man that was there retired. And everybody was talking, this is what we are going to do, this is what they are going to do. I think perchance the driver was in their midst. And he said, by the way, the previous manager that I used to drive, this is how he used to do. I used to carry him to so and so place, and that was what solved the problem. So don't write off anybody. Don't write off anybody. So create a safe haven where people can speak, people can talk, because people are different in their individual idiosyncrasies. Seek knowledge of people. If you are in a team sitting at a table like this, There are some people who don't talk much. Draw them out. They may have the answer to the problems that you are trying to seek but because they are not talking, there are some people that are very good. Some people is talk, no what? No substance. So you must be able to know your people, and that is why you treat everybody individually in their own respective and individual mode where they operate well. Next slide, please. Next slide. Helping others to be themselves. Now, this is very key. If you stop learning, you are 6 feet down. Anyone that stops learning, you are 6 feet down. So encourage learning, both for yourself and for your members. Why do we have teams that are not operating well? If some people are more or less laggards and they are drawing back the other people. Or when you have leaders that are not learning, they will be what? They will be unduly intimidating, stultifying the progress of those that are under them. So leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. If you are a leader, you must be able to learn. A lot of the time, be a step ahead of the pack that you are leading. It's not that you are going to be all in all, but it is very important for you to note that you must also be able to have something that they know. This is Oga's forte. This is Oga's area. All right? So I want you to be able to, let's quickly go on. Go on. Now, what are the risks of not learning? Number one, your vision, you can blow it up. If you are not learning, because the vision that you have, the goals that you have, if you don't learn, either from the individuals that are with you, you may not be able to do what? You may not be able to pursue that vision successfully. And if you are not, you'll be late to the table. When discussions are being made, because you are not good at learning, you can see on everybody's phone over there, your hand on, your tablets and the rest of it, the world is at a dizzying speed in terms of information that you can get at the palm of your hands. And so if you are not also on your feet in terms of how you are doing it, it could have a problem with you as a leader. When you are not learning, you waste resources because you won't be able to do a comparative analysis of those businesses that have failed and those businesses that have succeeded and what you can learn from them. The other question is that when you are not learning, you are fixated in one spot, and what brought you here cannot take you to your next destination, because the secret of your success that brought you to be here is not going to remain the same thing, because everybody would know it already. By the time they know it, it is no longer a business secret. I mean, take a simple recipe. There are people that are doing the recipe, and they can easily know it. Look at a very good example. I don't drink fizzy drinks. I don't take it. But look at Biggie and Coke. Those who take it, even the packaging and everything, it may not be the same, but very close. Why is it close? They had people who must have been in Coke before. Coke used to have concentrate plant in Nota. So there are people who knew some of those things. So what you think is your trade secret, if you are not careful, those things, they are not secret. And that is why you need to do what? Treat your people well. If you don't treat them well, they know the secrets. They know what you are doing. And then because of that, what happens? What happens? They can easily steal it and go and set up another one. But when you treat your people, a lot of people, sir, you are an HRDC, how do I do my business? Truly, Nigeria is a very difficult place to employ people. But one thing stands out. I tell people, WIIFM is not a radio station. What is in it for me? WIIFM, what is in it for your employees? They see you They see how money is passing. You are making so much money, but you are still paying them peanuts. And so they are looking for any opportunity to also scam you. How do you do something like a bonus share to say, at the end of the year, this is a pot of money. Depending on how we did, you are going to be taking so much at the end of the year. There will be some commitment. There will be some commitment. But when that is not there, the guys are looking at you to say, this man, you have an accountant or a finance person. It is important for you to do what? To be able to share, say, this is how much I made. Because they see it. As a matter of fact, communication is very key. When you do not communicate, the revenue that is coming, they won't know how much you are owing at the bank. They'll just say, checks are just coming in. Checks are just coming in. And then they will say, and see what this man is paying me. It's a challenge for business owners. It's a challenge for business owners. Be aware of your mindsets. Not invented here. We don't do it. Some organizations remain where they are, or they go under because you have somebody who is a bright idea, who is bringing some things to the table, and because the person is just new to you, say, don't worry, you are just new. By the time we stay for some time, you will know that this your idea will not be good. You are killing what? Creativity, innovation, and inventiveness. Go ahead, please, quickly. So sometimes, eradicate not invented here. Look at the horse. Sometimes the thing that is holding you back is in your head. It's in your head. Why is it so? Is it that this horse cannot take this thing and run with it? Do you know why? Since when it was a colt, it was a big storm that was in the ground. And because the harness on the teeth, by the time it was doing this, the thing would have injured the mouth when it was small. It grew up to believe that that is still the storm. That's the storm. And that is a lot of our mindsets fixates us, make us to move, make us to that comfort zone. That is the comfort zone, and that horse will remain there. Okay? Next slide. Eradicate not invented here. Model the behavior you want to see. Be good at your trade, at your business. What is that business? Be good at it. If you don't model the behaviors, you cannot be telling people, your staff, be punctual. You cannot be telling your team members, be punctual. You are always late. It cannot happen. I remember my years in Cadbury. In fact, our CEO, Dr. Kolade, was telling us a few months ago, we went to see him. He said, I don't know. But you know, he said, you remember when we have meetings, and it is true. When they said the meeting is 2 o'clock, and Baba is walking to the hall where we are going to hold the meeting, you will see managers, men, women, running because the man will not be late. And he told us something. He said, if you and I agree to meet at 2 p.m., and you showed up and I'm late, it means I don't respect you. Simple matter. So you model the behavior that you want to see in your team, in your business, and then you walk the talk, as they say. What you want to see, model it, and they will know that is what it is. You cannot be saying, calling integrity, shouting integrity, but you're also sending people to go and drop bribes somewhere. And you know what? If they are dropping bribe, if I sent this young man over there, go and give 20 million to so-and-so person, because it's a bribe. If he gets there and he drops 18 million, I cannot ask. The man they gave it to cannot ask to say, how much did you send? So, but we've said we are not going to bribe people here. So whatever the behavior, you have to do what? You have to be sure that you are living that behavior. Listen to people and learn from them. Don't look at anybody. I think we've mentioned that before. healthy debate in your teams. Let people be engaged meaningfully. There will be difficult conversations that you are going to be having within your teams. It is for you to be able to do what? It is for you to be able to do it and do it well. Now, if someone does well, celebrate them. If you don't celebrate them, they will not be encouraged to do more. Share what you know. Like I said, borrow shamelessly, steal with pride. It doesn't cost you anything. All that you need to do is the C in a circle, copyright, so and so person. The idea came from them. The one you don't know on the internet, you say anonymous. They will know you are not ascribing it to yourself. So the next, okay, let's move on. Developing your team, which is more or less the core of what we want to discuss about. So what's a team? A team. What is a team? Quickly, next slide. Because a lot of people, they work as group, as people who are just like a gang of robbers, a gang of thieves. They want to scam themselves. Okay? They want to scam themselves because they are just a group. The only thing that binds them together is we want to go and rob so and so place. That does not mean that by the time they rob the place, if they got 8 million, somebody can say it was 800,000 because they are not a team. Next slide. So a team is a small number of people who have complementary. Okay, so why do we work in teams? If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. It's very important. You can go alone because but when you are tired, somebody can also be saying, okay, let's move. You go further down. So what is a team? A team is a group of people that are working together. They have complete skills, but they are bound together by a vision, a common goal, a common set of objectives. That is what binds them together. That is what binds them together. And you will see some people, in actual fact, their chemistry does not go together. But they will say, as far as we are at the workplace, we must get this task done. That is a team. And team, someone says the acronym is together. Move on, please. Move on. Is that the next slide? Okay, so why do we work in teams? Because you have all of these things. You have more quality. You have more productivity. You can reduce costs. There is speed. There is change. There is innovation. Because you can easily say, how do you see this thing? Should we do it this way? Unlike somebody who is just working in one cubicle, in one corner of the office, that is just not even doing what? Is not even knowing the full consequences of what he's doing. And like the good book says, those who will not be advised will not be canceled. And in the multitude of cancers, there is what? There is safety. Next one, please. Next one. Now, sorry, something is happening to my slide. Are we jumping? Okay. There are two types of organization. You can see this one. The hierarchical organization. There is what? The GM will talk to the manager will talk to the supervisor. Once in a while, the GM can jump to the next one. But a team is where, in fact, you can see the interface. All those members. At least at any point in time, you have two other people that you are talking to. And at any point in time, there is even what? A connection, because people are talking to each other. So there's a flat organization where you are able to do what? To share experiences, where you are able to look at each other's work and this thing. So in what ways does a team differ from a group of people? Like I said, the group is made up of individuals who think of themselves as a group. There is group consciousness. They will be saying we and us. But in actual fact, It is just what? It is just in their own imagination. In their own imagination because they are not working as a team. Now, there are additional characteristics of teams. They have a shared purpose. The tasks are explicit. Everybody knows. They share it amongst themselves. And there is what? Expectations management. They are managing the expectations to say, this is what is expected of you. This is what is expected of me. So the goal is for us to be able to achieve those objectives. And the relationships are functional. They are interdependent, as well as they do a lot of interaction with each other. Move on, please. Move on. What are those things that differentiate a team from a group of people? In most cases, the numbers are small. In fact, research has shown that in most cases, when you want to get a very good team, you can have about 5, but between 5 and 10. Now, the truth of the matter is, even if you are 20, the same set of rules would apply, that you have the same set of vision, the same set of shared mindset, the same set of shared objectives that is binding you together, that is making you to be able to do some of those things. We've mentioned complementary skills. We've mentioned common purpose and common set of specific performance goals. Let's move on to the next one. Now, the principles of team building is that there is synergy. 1 + 1 is greater than 2. 1 + 1 is greater than 3. In other words, it is not just a linear thing. It's actually exponential in terms of the advantages and the benefits that you have as a team. Together, you are doing it together. Look at this thing. The real power of a team is not so much in the sum of its parts, but in the sum of the interactions between the parts. It's not so much about 5 people. It is the interactions, how you are sharing information. You are not hoarding information, because everybody believes we are in a team. As a result of that, the information you have, you are not doing well, you are not hoarding it, you are not hiding it, because when you hide it, you know that the team will not be able to do what? To achieve its vision and objectives. Now, sometimes teams do not work well. So we say there is downward spiral, next slide, or upward spiral. When it is downward, it means the relationship is toxic. It is toxic, the one on the right. Such teams may be a failure, or they might be achieving before, and they do what? They are now declining because what? The environment is too toxic. The environment is not conducive. It's not conducive for people to be able to share some of these things. And it's very important for us to know this, that in a team that was doing well can easily not also do well. It is for you to be able to check what is happening. But when there is an upward spiral, it increases the chances of you getting to your destination. Next slide. Next slide, please. Now, like we say, a chain is strong at its weakest link. Look at the people in your team. As a business owner, there are some people who may be very good, but they have everybody has gotten what I call their own opportunities, their strengths, and their weaknesses. You can easily turn people's weaknesses to opportunities to make them, to turn it around to become strengths for them. You will see some children, they will say, I cannot swim. But because what? They're afraid of water. That does not mean that when given the opportunity, they won't be able to do it well. And you see some players play on the field, and then they become goalkeepers. Or goalkeepers who turn later, they will tell you, I used to be a goalkeeper. I was reading the story of a young man of Nigerian descent. They said he used to be playing, is now a goalkeeper. So it's for you to be able to help the members of your team to change from, fear to have what? To have faith in themselves. So the upward spiral, high performance, they have strong working relationships, and they have easier and better done things. They get things done at a shorter learning curve. Now, I want to look at the downward spiral because that is very important for you to note. Failed or dysfunctional relationships. Some people cannot get on well with each other. Now, you need to know the personalities of members of your teams. And that's what is called the Belbin personality types. When you know people's personality types in your team, you will be able to do what? You'll be able to accommodate their what? Their own personal idiosyncrasies. What are those weaknesses that they have? Because if you don't know, they will not be able to, you will not be able to appreciate each other. There are some people in teams, they are mavericks. They may not do much work, but when they come, they make everybody to do what? To gear up. Oh, let me get this for us. Because I used to have some of those people in our teams when we have project teams. They'll just come, you will see that they make everyone to be very comfortable. And there are some people, mavericks as they are, they will just drop one question. You will think it is stupid. And then the aha moment will come to all of you to say, wow, we didn't even think about this. And that is the power of teams. You will see some people, they will just be like rabble-rousers, but they are actually worthy part of the team membership. It's for you to know how and what are the strengths that everybody is bringing to the table. Rivalries, you need to look at it. There are office politics. There are some people who will just not do anything. They are very toxic. What they will be doing is, even within, when you are discussing, they gave you a project assignment. Before you know what is happening, they are already talking to the manager that gave you the listing. You've not even decided. And then the manager will call you. By the way, what is happening on your team this thing? I heard this is happening. Just for them to do what? To get more epaulets on their shoulders. So you need to note that and be able to work it well. Next slide, please. I think the team leader, you can see this. The team leader is not standing on top of every other person. He's just around that chain. But one thing is clear. As a leader, you don't abandon your role as the leader. So for somebody who is a business owner and you have workers, the Nigerian mentality, don't do it. People already know you are doing all the business. It's not for you to be telling them, I don't run my business like this. Do you know how much money I took? You want me to go bankrupt? They will not talk to you again. They will not talk to you again. Encourage people to talk to you. And that is why you are a team leader. Now, I was telling one of my friends yesterday, if you hear two people in the office arguing, not arguing per se, to say, let's go this way, let's go that way. This one is saying, no, let's take, like you are going to, let me say, okay, let's go, say you are going to Ibadan, or even going to Ikeja, going to Bega. You are coming from Third Milan Bridge, no Google map. And you are saying, where do we go? Someone says, let's go straight through Alakwere. The other person says, let's go through Maryland. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. You may not know who is right, but you will not be in charge as to who is in charge. Who is in charge? The one that is in charge is the leader. So there might be argument in the office. At some point, the person who is in charge, who takes authority, who takes responsibility, and who is accountable for that, will say, okay, now I've had all of you. We are taking Maryland. So when two people are talking, you may not know who is right or wrong, but when the decision is going to be taken, you will not be in doubt as to who is in charge or who is in control out of the two of them. So as you are doing your leadership team, also look at your members. Look at your members. You must understand team dynamics. And Jack Welch says, before you are a leader, success is all about you. Now, when you become a leader, success is about growing other people. That is very key. Because at that point, you are not trying to impress anybody. I used to have a friend, a colleague then. He would say, look, the stage we are in now, we are not ready to impress anybody. We've developed the muscles. So no, don't develop any other muscles again. See how you can help other people to develop their muscles. Let them grow. Because at some point, you don't grow again. Not in terms of not learning, but you are not ready to make any point to anybody. And then Mark the priest says, the first responsibility of a leader is to define reality. The last is to say thank you. A lot of the time, we don't say thank you. Leaders don't say thank you. In fact, it's even worse with business owners. I own my business. And the people who are working for you, without them, you cannot achieve your goals. And that is why it's important that we are looking at this point. How do you lead people? How do you interact with your teams? Do not say that because you are paying them, and you will make people to say it and pay your salary. And the person will say, okay, we will know who is paying salary. By the time they do what? They sabotage your effort. So it's important for you to note, as a business owner or as a leader, they can sabotage your effort because what? You are not acknowledging that they are also bringing something to the table. Now, sometimes the downward spiral could be as a result of, can you move on to the next slide so that we can quickly just wrap up? Next slide, next slide, next slide. I want to show this. Teams don't perform so easily because there are stages of team development. Imagine the first day you met here, some people, or somebody you just met yourselves as working together. A lot of the time, you are just looking at each other. You don't understand yourselves. That is the stormy stage of of the team. They will be fighting because you don't know the personality types of the person that you are working with. There will be a lot of fight, argument. I don't like the way he talks to me. Who is he? Who is she? She's always talking like this. She thinks she knows it all. Because what? You are still doing what? You are forming. That is the formation of your team. The next stage, that is the time you fight. Somebody comes, no, we are not going this way. We are going that way. You're always trying to dominate this team. You're always going to do this. Somebody, they will say, you don't even talk. When we are saying it, you won't talk. By the time we go to the leader, you say, hey, this. That is the stormy stage. There will be a lot of fight. There will be a lot of putting off the gloves. But once you are able to understand that stage too, you begin to normalize as a team. You begin to work well. And then the next one is when you are performing. So at any point in time, most teams, they go through these 3-4 stages. Some may jump one, but the formation is key. When you are storming is when you are doing what? You are trying to study each other. This guy, a Nigerian, is a Nigerian thing. This guy is from one part of the country. I will be looking at him. Is he going to be able to work with me? That is the time you are storming. And then some people would say, yes, I know. People from that part, that is what they will do. They are very cunning. They are this one, That is the storming stage. At the point when you begin to understand each other, you say, oh, so she's not even like that. She's even like this. She's even a good one. She's even a jolly good fellow. All right? After the storming, then you normalize. That is the norming stage. And then you begin to perform and perform well. Next slide. Okay. The first one is that each of the members make them to feel they can't and they make the difference. Now, when you don't do that, if somebody feels they don't acknowledge what I'm doing, the person can be discouraged. Mistakes, like we said, are opportunities for learning rather than to criticize. I've told you, there are some members of the district also let people know when people make mistakes, it's not about saying, Bode is always like that. He will make mistake. I know he will bungle it. I know he's the one that will do this. Such a person, it can be a self-fulfilling prophecy. They won't be able to do well. And it's not because they are bad naturally, but because they've been given a wrong tag, a wrong name that is making them, a wrong identity that is making them to even now slip away. Sharing information at all levels, I think I've mentioned that. Ask probing questions. Now, there's something I wanted to tell us. In the team, develop the art of making people comfortable with asking questions. Now, there are some ways you ask questions, it's like you are putting the person on the spot. Because of that, it makes the person to be what? Not to be forthcoming. In your team, tell everybody, this is how we are going to be. Let's be able to do what? To ask questions, genuine questions about how is this thing? In fact, there is what is called, is not here, skills of engagement. The skills of engagement is to say skills of advocacy and inquiry. Advocacy and inquiry skills. A lot of the time, especially in this part of the world, we are taught like lawyers, advocates, advocacy. I'm putting it to you. This is the question, this thing. In your team, agree that when we ask questions, I will tell you, why am I asking the question? So I'm asking you, why did you tell us that we should be taking Ragoli's water instead of what was this one now? Ever. Because I'm the one buying it. And because maybe my wife sells Ragoli's water. The first thing is to say, why are you asking me that question? When you have the skills of advocacy in your team to say, so why are we asking this question? I'm saying this because I'm asking you because I know that this other water is better. Let me give you an example. In Nigeria today, if I just get to my team and I say, the cost of food will come down by December. The next thing that I should do, I shouldn't wait for members of my team. And I will say, I'm saying this statement because, number one, government is encouraging farming. I saw the our first lady on TV yesterday. She's encouraging people to use their backyard to farm. I can also say there is more fertilizer that is being given to people. Then food import, tax on duty on food importation is being, I've already made my statement. I made my statement. The reason behind my statement, I've also put it. So before you jump in, you can know where I'm coming from. But a lot of the time, the skills of advocacy is what we have. We don't ask questions. So the point I'm making is that in your team, so you mentioned this statement. Tell me the reason why you are saying this. When you see two people arguing or making statements, I can understand those at a football view center. But if you, in your team, you ask two people, this is my statement. Just ask the person, wait, tell me what you may say. Food will be cheaper in December. This is what I said. Tell the person, if it is not a simple statement, maybe a bit complex, the guy will jump. Say, what do you mean? Da, 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 da. Why? Because he's hearing me and not listening to me. Ask two people. that have been going around, third person, just listen. We've practiced it in change and transformation to say, okay, what did you hear this person say? Before you respond, you will see that the person will be flustered. She doesn't even understand where, but she wants to answer questions. And it's very key. You need to be able to encourage your team members the art of hearing and listening before you respond. Like Steve Covey says, seek first to understand, then be understood. Next slide. Next slide. To help you out. Okay, I think that is my last. Slide. Now, next slide. I want to share. So, if there are questions, discussions, clarification, I would like to do that quickly before I take my leave. Thank you for listening.
Please, if you have questions, raise up your hand. If you have questions, please. Okay, can you please stand up if you have questions so that we can just take you all? Can you just come to the middle here, somewhere that we can have you quickly?
Good afternoon,
Please.
everyone.
Thank you.
Ibe Wada. Thank you very much for a well-delivered lecture. We really appreciate, sir. So my question is this: in an organization where it seems like you have bosses yearly, for example, when a boss is being posted in less than 2 years, we get to have another boss again. So forming up a team could be difficult in that aspect, because when you are getting to understand this boss, another one is coming to replace him or her. So you have to start afresh again to get to know this boss of yours again. And it seems like it happens to every of your colleagues, and they are kind of fraction when there's a newly posted boss. How do you deal with this process? Thank you.
So 2 things. The first thing is that there's what is called onboarding. Okay? Now, upfront, I have bad news for you, is that change is inevitable. People move and move. The good news is that there are 2 levels to address this. The first is at the organizational level. The second is the individual level. And the onus is on that manager, whoever is coming. Oh, sorry, let me back up. It's actually the organization. Because they know this, they should train all their managers to note that working in teams is more beneficial to the organization than anything else. So when you do onboarding properly, now the manager, onboarding is usually for a new staff. So even the manager, one of the things I do, or I used to do, is to say, look, who are the staff that are working in this team that I'm just joining? And the first thing is to familiarize yourself. It's not about sitting down together. Okay, what did you call your name now? Ibe. Ibe Wada. Okay. So, okay. Oh, you are Ibe Wada, you are this, you are that, you are John, you are Kelechi. No. I would have scheduled a meeting with everybody, one by one, right? Especially those that are direct reports. This is how I work. This is my style of working. I want to know you. So when I know the way you work, so if I'm like somebody who gives you work, and I may not be asking you, maybe in 1 week, I'm not like the one that will be saying, Alpha, Alpha, Alpha. We've agreed, when are you bringing this work to me? By 2 p.m. next week, Tuesday. So I expect you to come. If you have issues, come and tell me. Are you getting me? So I know that is the way you work. You can also tell me, I would like to come once in a while to see that I'm doing okay, I'm on track. So I know that I will schedule a meeting in between now and Tuesday. So when we understand each other, there won't be a lot of problems in getting things done properly as a team. So the first thing is that the organization itself should encourage what? Onboarding for the manager, for the individuals, and for the team. The other thing is that there's what is called organizational knowledge, which most organizations don't document. Organizational knowledge is about, this is how we do things. When the first person that is going, there should be proper handover. Works that are pending, this is how the team is. You get a handing over about individuals. Now, the other thing is that the manager that was going might have a wrong opinion about you for whatever reason. Me that I'm coming, I would have those things when I'm having my own onboarding with you, the meeting one-on-one. One-on-one then as a team, right? I can then say, I will look at it, give everybody benefit of doubt. But there will be changes. People will change. It's for you to go and ask your boss, how do you work here? How do I work with you? How do we work with you as a team? And that is why organizations also go for retreat. They want to go and see how we can bond and do all of those things. But change is inevitable. People will come and go. Thank you. I don't know if I speak to what you. Okay.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you, sir. My question would be a swap or illustration, sir. Let me use
What?
a school.
Illustration?
Yes,
Okay.
so that you'll be able.
Okay.
Let me use a school for example.
A school.
Yes, sir. We have a proprietor, we have HM, and we have staff.
HM is headmaster.
As headmaster.
Okay.
You don't have the power of proprietor. So now the HM is very young, both in age, to some of the staff, some of the teachers who are older than him or her. Now, that HM, because she's younger or is younger than the teachers in that place, though he has experience more than them, they now use that bigger age or whatever they want to use it to write him or her. So in a situation whereby the proprietor now he has such a thing and said he now fired the other staffs, because we normally the question I want to pass through is that the proprietor will always see that HM as is the person that they are disrespecting. I don't know, maybe that is correct. I want to understand that. Secondly, if he now face the teachers at the end of the day, maybe he give him a punishment or whatsoever,
That's the HM.
The proprietor, is he in the right sense to do that again to that staff, the staff that is not up to HM?
Okay, so I would go back to, because of my past corporate life, the last speaker spoke about standard operating procedure. What is an SOP? An SOP is a step-by-step itemization of how things should be done in an organization. So when you talk about systems, when you talk about processes, when you talk about procedures, you are looking at it to say, this is how things should be done this way. Most organizations, that school is very likely no systems and processes in place. When you don't have a structure, your structure will drive your process. As I'm standing here, it is my skeletal system that is making me to stand and move around. Imagine if there is nothing, then I will be amoeba as our elementary. That is what is happening, especially proprietors here, because there is none. The proprietor is not. I don't think they have an SOP or systems to deal with issues like this. When there are systems and processes in place, what happens is that all of these things will not even happen, because the headmaster himself or herself will be able to do what? To apply the rules that is operating. All right? So it's important. Business owners, how many of us are business owners here? Okay, so do you have, that is the whole essence of that last speaker's this thing. Your structure will drive your processes and your system. If there is no structure, there cannot be a system in place. You are just looking at it. And some, when they have it, it's just like, oh, Valley Top School has it. Let us also have it. They don't what? They don't observe it. And like I said in the paper, model the behaviors that you want to see in your people. So I think that is what I want to say about that question. There would always be situations where a junior person with experience would do what? Would be put off, as a leader or as a manager to somebody who is older. The point is that let your systems drive all of those things. Thank you. Right?
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
Sorry, my own question is basically, I've been leading a group of people for the past 4 years, and with your lecture, I've been able to note my errors over the years, because I've seen that I'm among those that have brought the whole team to be on the downside. So I believe I will go and correct that later. But you mentioned some personalities in the group, or in the team, sorry, and the weak ones that won't talk, but they are more effective. But the ones that I want you to please give me idea on how to tackle is the toxic ones that would always leak out the team's plan, the team's discussions. Like, let me give you a scenario. Like, there will be an event that our team decided to give to other committees to do. Now, this discussion will be with my team, plans, budgets, and all will be discussed. And suddenly, this person will just leak out this information to the committee, and to one way or the other, disrupt many things. And it's becoming toxic that it's affecting other team members, because she kind of influenced them not to listen to my directives, weakens other personnel in the teams, like the way she talks to them, even though she's of age more than almost all of us in the team. So I want to know, you discuss about it in your lecture. I want to know, in your own area of expertise and experience, how do you tackle such people?
Okay. Are you in the public sector? Public sector? Is it local government? Okay. So, have you had any time to have, leaders must be ready to have difficult conversations. That's what is called difficult conversations, which means you say it as it is. Everybody, you will say it. Have you ever brought this thing to the table in your team, that information about us that we discuss is going out? You've done that. So to what extent do you have, because sometimes when it is public sector, I'm sorry, when it is public sector, you may not have a means of saying, I don't want this person in my team. Now, in the private sector, okay, I also worked in the public sector. In the private sector, you can easily say, who can be a member of my team? But the point is that your team, everybody should be able to say, this is what we are doing. We do not want it shared outside for whatever reason. But because you are in the public sector, you may not be able to say, this person is not a member of our team. I don't know what you can do. But in the team, if everything is, you bring it to the table, you discuss it. I don't know who she's going to, she's been going to discuss all of these things. If you know, you can bring it to say, are you the one that said this? There's what is called name and shame. Are you the one that went to say this thing? Somebody told me this thing we discussed yesterday is already out. Are you the one? Are you the one? Are you the one? By the time you point to her every time, I think maybe the shame will catch her for her not to be able to do it again. But because it's a public sector, I may not be able to offer much advice to you. I'm sorry. Okay.
Big round of applause, please. I know some of you still ask questions. It's going to be around at the back of the hall. We have 3 speakers sitting down, and then a fireside chat with Mr. Aresh Keswani of SPARS this afternoon. So we want to try to hasten it up. Let's give Dr. Shogo a big round of applause. I may not be in the hall, but I'm watching live on YouTube, so I'm also learning in the process. Thank you very much, sir, for your word of wisdom. You were helpful to us, Abuja. We're glad to have you also here in Lagos. Talking about Abuja, I saw this young man wearing black. When I saw him in the photo yesterday, I said, is he the one? Is he not? Because he was with us in Abuja. He was very active in Abuja. So he came all the way from Abuja for this event. Help me give him a big round of applause. And she too, she was also in Abuja. So when I saw the picture, I said, but I saw another picture. I now zoomed in. It was his face. Let me give another round of applause. But it tells us that we're adding value. So very quickly, I want to bring up on the stage a brother of mine, a friend of mine, to give us a goodwill message. I'm sure maybe tomorrow or Friday, he would also be running his own session. He's the Director General of the Lagos State Safety Commission. Please help me give him a big round of applause. He'll give us a goodwill message, and then we'll go to the session on networking. Please, Egwe, climb the stage, sir, so that they can capture you.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I can't hear you. I cannot hear you. You guys are meant to be the youth, so you should give me a full resounding one. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's not every day that I get the opportunity to speak with young people. So I take it very privileged. I don't take it for granted. I'd like to thank my brother, Dr. Dyer Israel, for giving me this beautiful opportunity to meet with you guys today. It's very, very hectic when you're in a government position. But this for me is very important. I recollect when Dr. Dyer mentioned this a few months ago, and he said, this is something that is very passionate, something that touches his soul. I connected immediately with it. He said the first one was going to happen in Abuja, and I said to him that the next one after Abuja has to be Lagos. Eko Nibaja o. Eko Nibaja o. Eko Nile. Igbega Eko. Eshegoni. So just I know it's a good message, really. First of all, I'd like to appreciate God Almighty for making this day possible. The APC Youth Party leader, the APC Youth Wing, like to thank them very much for making this happen. I know that you guys, it's a full session of a number of days, and I know that you're going to go back fully charged. You know, I know I'm still going to come back probably on Thursday to have a fire chat message, fire chat session with you where we can interact and tell you my own story. Here today, by the grace of God, I'm going to go furthermore. But the truth is, we started from somewhere. And that's the message I would like you guys to know, that it's never too late for you to start. It's never too late for you to dream. And you need to dream big. You know the reason why you need to dream big? Because it's not all the time that you catch your dream. So if you dream small and you catch it, then you stay on that mediocre level, you stay on that low level. But when you dream big, very big, you know, when you then catch it or you strive to catch it, then you move and you break barriers. That's one thing. The second thing I'd like to pass to you is commitment. More than anything else, commitment. Committed to a cause. You know, someone said, when you think of something so much, you'll find a solution. Does anybody agree with me? When you think of something so much, when you devote your time to thinking about a solution, you'll find a solution. So I'd also like to leave that with you, that don't try to do too many things. Don't confuse yourself. Take it one step at a time. Rome was not built in a day. They say a step of 1,000 miles, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with what? It starts with one step. Take baby steps. Don't be afraid to take baby steps. A lot of people perish with ideas. The graveyard, they say, is the biggest congregator of ideas. Why? Because people die with ideas. So when you have these ideas, nurture them, water them, push, push, push. Never stop pushing. Talk to people, network. Don't be afraid to say, if I tell my idea, they're going to steal it. Yes, it does happen. But the truth of the matter is, it is better for them to steal it and you be part of it than that idea to die completely. Another thing I'd like to say to you about ideas is you're not the only one thinking about these ideas. I have been in China for the last 3 weeks doing a study tour of how the Chinese were able to move China within a very short period to the second largest economy in the world. They have paid so much attention to their youth. As we speak, they are paying a lot more attention to their youth. They're jumping on the trends. They've missed a lot of the revolutions that have happened. I'm sure a lot of you know the agrarian revolution, the industrial revolution. We're in the world of artificial intelligence. Everything that you do now, you need to see, how do I connect it to artificial intelligence? How do I connect it to data? Because the truth of the matter is, it doesn't start with the soul. Business success is not with the soul. You don't do business with your soul. I like it. I feel. No, there's nothing like I feel in business. It has to add up. The numbers have to add up. If you want to pitch an idea, you have a beautiful business idea, you've done all your business plan, but you're going to your banker and I say, I just feel that if I put money into this thing, I'm going to blow, I'm going to make it. The banker will say, you're not serious. It's not about feelings. I'm going to be giving you money, and the money is not mine. The money is public money. You need to pay attention. You need to be very meticulous about whatever your idea is. And then you need to take time to go through it, refine it. Start to look at numbers, big data, start to do the analytics. And by the time you have the final product, you know, it's like when you see that raw stone in the diamond that you see that shines today. By the time it's in the raw format, it's not appealing. That diamond that you see, all the gold and everything, it's not appealing. What has happened is gone through so many stages of refining. So that idea starts, you start to refine it, you start to talk to people about it. Be very careful about the type of people that you're talking to about it. But you can't just keep it to yourself, because you need people to help you. Network. It's very important. Do not take it for granted, the power of networking, because it's when you say something that people then listen and say, oh, I like the idea that this guy has mentioned. How can you work? And be bold and be audacious. Be fair, be fearless. Don't fear anybody. Like I say, the only person I fear is God Almighty. So don't feel that, what if I ask? Ask that question. There's nothing like a stupid question. Do you understand? There's nothing like a stupid question, and there's nothing like a stupid idea. And personally, you know, when I'm meeting you on Thursday, I'll tell you my story. I've been all over the world. There's nowhere like home. The biggest opportunities start from here. So don't think that it's the only solution is for you to do jackpot. Jackpot, I was a jackpot that I jackpotted. Do you understand? I jackpot and I jackpotted. And I'm not going to jackpot anymore, because I can see that this is really where the opportunities lie. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, just a pleasure. Uncle Haresh is here, and I know you're going to have a wonderful time with him. But I look forward to meeting with you on Thursday. Look forward to sharing my own story. Like I said with you, there's nothing like a stupid idea. You need to nurture it. You need to be committed to it, and you need to focus 100% on it. So, Mr. Dyer Israel, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I do not take it for granted. My name is Larry Mojola, Director General, Lagos State Safety Commission. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give yourself Mojola a big round of applause. Okay, so we have a fireside chat speaker in the house. But before that, I'm going to bring on a speaker on networking and connectology, Mr. Tosin Gbadebo. Mr. Tosin, over to you. After that, we'll quickly have Mr. Fatai. I'm thinking that we might even do the fireside chat before we then finish with a thorough session with Mr. Fatai that will then lead us into tomorrow. Over to you.
Clap for me now. How are we all doing? How are we all doing? We have been dazed. Really dazed. I'll try to run through this. Can I have my slides up? I'll try to run through this as fast as possible, because I know we don't have time on our side. My name is Tosin Gbadebo. I'm a communications expert, a behavioral therapist, a psychologist by profession, and I'm also a pastor. All All right, let me start with this. Can I have, I just need two volunteers for a practical. We're starting on the practical notes. And trust me, this is going to be highly, thank you very much. Come up stage. Let me take it from there. Taking one from over there. Come up stage, sir. I love that, one male, one female. Well, good. It's going to be highly practical, highly interactive. So I need your feedbacks as we're talking, because we're talking about networking. And so we need to network in this session, right? Some of us have been here. You have not collected one number since you came into this place. You've not spoken to anybody. Your face has been strong. Strong like Zuma Rock. You've been going in and out. You're just focusing, looking straight. The whole session, everything is just no. Tell somebody, say, calm down. Look to that, say, calm down. Oh, yeah, calm down. So this is the point where we're going to be talking about networking, the importance of networking, and what it is to. Thank you very much. So can I have the microphone, please? Can I have help up here? Can I get the microphone? What did he do for you now? Nah, he's a great man. Can I have the microphone, please? Can I have the extra microphone up here, please? So let me start with you, Ma. This is it. There is a lift coming from, just imagine, yesterday we closed our eyes and we were drinking lemon. Remember? We were drinking. Some people are still tasting that lemon right now, Abi? So we are going to close our eyes right now. We are going to come down from lift. So every day they are going to be closing eyes to do something, one thing or the other. So please, you understand me? So you're coming up from a lift and your lift stopped on the 3rd floor. The ground floor is just 2 floors to go. That's barely 15, 20 seconds. Let me give you that space of time. Come here, come into the lift. Stand in the lift. You understand? Yeah. And all of a sudden, the door of the lift opens. And Mr. Aliko Dangote walked in the lift with you and stood by your side. What would you do? What would you say? 15 seconds.
Just like
No, this Aliko Dangote standing next to you. Just start. Just start immediately.
Yes. Oh. Yes, sir. It's so good to have you here. I am the very remote Sikiolua. I'll be following your updates online. And
I'm listening. I'm about to drop. I'm about to get up on my lift.
okay.
You're watching?
Yes, sir. It's good.
Ariwaja.
It's good to have you here. It's good to meet you here. I'm Rama Ikelua.
Oh, nice
So
to
how
meet you
can I
too.
connect with you, sir?
Oh, sorry, you can't connect with me. Connect with me for what? Well,
Okay, yes, sir.
well, Papa. Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for her. She tried. At least I remember her name.
Hi, how are you?
All
Nice
right, sir.
jacket, by the way. That's a nice blue jacket.
Oh, wow.
How you doing? My name is Dio Israel.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Dayo. How you
You
doing?
look very sharp. What do you do?
Oh, me? I'm a therapist and I'm also a psychologist.
Wow. You guys, we need that. A lot of people are going through a lot of mental health nowadays.
All right. So are you Aliko Dangote or I am Aliko Dangote? I don't get it right now. He's trying to flip me. I know my guy. All right, let me have your take right now. There's something I'm trying to bring out with this. Let me have your take right now with this. I come into the lift, Mr. Otedola walked into this lift with you. And I'm just focusing on my business. Just the two of us.
What I would say is, I said, thank God today I've met my destiny helper. Good afternoon, my excellency, sir. My name is Akim Adegoke. I've been trying to get in touch with you, but today, thank God I've met you, and I'm not going to leave you till you give me your business card.
I will never let you go
Never
unless
let
you bless
go.
me. Thank you very much. Put your hands together for them and let them have their seats. You see that networking is not that easy, right? All right. What is networking? Straight up, first slide. What does it mean to network? What does it need to network? I'm gonna come there to what you are supposed to do in that situation. It's part of the slide. But I needed us to, shake up things a little bit and, just get out. So straight up, networking is the process of building and maintaining professional relationships to achieve personal and professional goals. So when we're talking, because we're dealing with business people here, so I'm going to be tailoring it down to the business side of things. Yeah. So it's the process of building and maintaining professional relationships. So you just met someone who is a CEO of a company, and the first thing you are telling him is that I will not let you go until I get. What do you need this contact for? The man is thinking within himself, why do you need my contact? To do what? To call me at night or what? Do you understand me? There must be something you are willing to offer. There must be something that is catching up his interest about you for him to be able to say, wow, that's nice. Oh, so what do you do? Oh, wow, that's great. Oh, I think we need such a thing for our company. Oh, I think I know someone that does this thing. That you must be able to say something. So how do you build such networks? And sometimes the person sitting next to you might just be the person that you need to go to. But because most of the time you are just so uptight, you're just all by yourself. As a lady, every man that says hello to you wants to toast you. That's how we feel. And it's not actually the truth. Say hello. Even if he wants to toast you, allow him say what he wants to say. You know that there are some, yesterday we heard about some people's nuisance value, and their how the miscalculation you call it. Aha. So you'll be able to sieve those who are relevant to your life and destiny and those who are not. But in life, you cannot walk alone. You cannot do life alone. You need people around you. You need to build networks, because the only way your business will grow is by meeting people, knowing people, interacting with people, and doing business with people. And the more people you know, the more your business will grow. Not even in a situation in a country like our country, whereby you actually really need to know people. And look, when you know people, I was talking to somebody, I think it was over the weekend. I called him, I said, I have a few contacts on my phone of very important people in this country that I know. Now, when they were contacts on my phone, they had not gotten to the positions they were today. But now, they are in that position. Then I asked him, I said, I mentioned someone's name in particular who just turned the CEO of a company, a very popular country in Nigeria. I said, what can I do with this man? I've been thinking within myself. He knows me, I know him. I visit his house, we're good with each other. Then he said, look, just, do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that. And I believe that is how it's going to be. And I just thought within myself, that is the importance of networking with people with value. Now, value does not actually mean that they have attained the position already. But even when they were not there, the first time you spoke with them and they spoke with you, you sensed value. And I'm going to be eating so much on value because that is the reason or the essence of networking. You sense value. And that value is the reason why you stuck with them. And that is why you are on a journey together. So it's a process of building and maintaining professional relationships to achieve personal and professional goals. There's a reason why you are rolling with those you want to roll with. Next slide, please. Benefits of networking. Why networking? Why networking? Number one, for career advancement. You need it for career advancement so that you can do more with your business, for business opportunities, for personal growth. There are people we need to learn from. And you can only learn from them when you go close to them. There are people you need to talk to And you can only grow by getting close to them. So if you don't have that network, like Porter Gale said, your network is your net worth. It's not the amount of money in your account. Someone once said, if you cannot call a certain number of people and can provide a certain number or a certain amount of money for you to get out of a certain kind of trouble, then know that you don't have people. As much as, yes, I kind of agree and to some extent, but it's the truth. There are some issues you will get to in life that you cannot get yourself out. You need a phone call. So what's your network? Who are those you are rolling with? Who are the guys you're rolling with? Who are the guys you're talking to every day? Are they the guys you gossip with every day or the guys that are providing value? So you need them for personal growth. You need those who will make you better, not those who will make you feel worse than you are already. And you need them to ask resources. You need them for support. You need them to ask resources, and you need them for support. Next slide, please. Your network goals. For you to identify why you are networking. Why am I rolling with this guy? Why am I with this person? Why am I talking to this person? Why is this person my friend? Why is this person my mentor? Why is this person my leader? Why am I doing business with this person? You need to first define the purpose, and that is the why. The purpose and the objective of that relationship. For you to build strongly, you need to define the purpose. You cannot just move with everybody. Everybody should not be your friend. Do you agree with me? Everybody should not be your friend. So ask yourself that question. Why am I with this guy? What am I gaining from this person? And what is that person gaining from me? One of the things that blessed me, and that's why today in my session, I'm going to be picking bits and pieces from every session I've heard so far in this training. I was here deliberately yesterday to listen to people so I can learn. So Dr. Akipelu said something yesterday. He said, if you come to me and ask me for ₦1,000,000, I would first look at you and I would ask, why do you deserve that ₦1,000,000 from me? Right? You remember that scenario? He said, but if my mom asks me for ₦1,000,000 and I don't have it, what would I do? I will go get it. Why? Because of the amount of deposits that has been made. She has deposited so much that she can withdraw as much as she wants to withdraw. And that's it with relationship. How much deposit are you making into people's life that you want to withdraw? Second point is set your SMART goals. And what is SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. I've come to realize in life that not everybody, some people you start the journey together, some people have to drop at a bus stop. Some people just have to drop at a bus stop. But if you want to carry those who are not, but you will know when the time is over, because at some point they will just stop agreeing with everything you are trying to achieve. And some people were not even part of the journey in the first place, but they looked as if they were part of it. You need to set them. You need to understand. You need to set these goals. They have to be specific. They have to be measurable. They have to be achievable, relevant, time-bound. Identify your target audience and your industry. Now, in your profession, what you are trying to do as a person. I am a doctor. That's my profession. Why do I have 90% of mechanics as friends? I've lost purpose, right? Why do I have 90% of mechanics as friends? The guys who should be my friends are either fellow doctors who I'm learning from, right? Or are learning from me. Or my patients who I have business with. And even patients are on professional level. I deal with them from the professional side of things. So identify them. Know the guys you want to roll with. Know the guys you want to build network with. There are some people, when you start the conversation with them, you know that this thing is not going anywhere. Cut it short, move to the next person. Do you understand? Cut it short, move to the next person. And there are some people, by the time you start the conversation, you know that this is the person I need for my life. Build a relationship with that person. Next slide. Network strategies. Build relationships through genuine connections. Build relationships through genuine connections. Now, either we like it or not, connections are real. You know people to get to one or two places in life. There are some people that will hold you by the hand. I was talking to someone, we're having that conversation recently, and I said, imagine you are walking in with the CEO of a bank, and you are just walking by his side, and you guys are having a chat. Or imagine I'm walking with Honorable Dayo Israel. If I go to the APC National Secretariat, probably by myself, they'll have to call him, or they have to make me sign some forms or some things like that. But imagine I'm walking in with him. Would anybody stop me? Your level of relationship through genuine connections, and make sure that you are meeting the right people through the right people. So check out the profile of those you are meeting. Check out know them by what they do, and be sure that you have checked out and understood their kind of person before you roll with them, because there are some people that can get you into trouble in the place of networking. Number two, active listening and effective communication. Active listening and effective communication. We cannot overemphasize the importance of communication, especially when we are trying to network. Listening is part of communication. Listen more, talk less. Listen more, talk less. Make sure you are relating to the person you are having conversation with. You know, there are sometimes we just talk endlessly and we are not relating. You can't build networks that way. Make sure you are relating with the person. Number three, be confident. And lastly, ask open-ended questions and provide value. Make sure you are providing value. People will relate with you by the level of your value. People would talk to you by the level of your value. What are you bringing to the table? What are you having to offer? The guys who met the rich guys in the elevator, probably the reason why they will not be getting any number or any contact is because they have not brought anything to the table. So provide value. Building relationships. How do we do this? Number one, establish trust, rapport, mutual understanding. How do you achieve this? Find a common ground. There must be something that interests the person you are building network with that also interests you. There must be something they are doing that you would also want to do. So find a common ground. Number two, show genuine interest. Show genuine interest. So if it is not interesting, work on. If you are not interested in it, move on. You are not forced or you are not tied to continue to have relationship with the person. Now, use positive body language. Now, have you tried talking to someone before and the person is just like, all right, okay, that's fine. I've seen. You feel like just walking away, right? So use positive body language when you are trying to relate or trying to build relationship with people. And the funny thing is that sometimes those people that are giving these negative vibes, they don't mean it. But the fact remains that that is just who they are. They don't understand this concept. So they would keep, giving such vibes that would not help them build healthy relationship. And lastly, follow up and follow through. Make sure you do your follow-ups and make sure your follow-ups are done well. Now, the elevation pitch. These are the 3 things you need to know. Elevation pitch. Number 1, keep it concise. All you had was 15 seconds. Go straight to the point. Go straight to the point. I was at a wedding sometimes, I think it was 3 years ago. And I was seated on it was in Abuja, so I was seated on the high table because the guys who were getting married were my boy. Let me put it that way. So I was on the high table. I had another of my protege who sat next to me. And one of the ambassadors of a country in Nigeria also sat next to us on that high table. So while we were there, my boy was into real estate, or is into real estate. And he just, bent his head to speak to the ambassador and was like, "Oh, good afternoon, sir. Sir, I'm into real estate, sir." The ambassador just said, because he was over me, so I heard the entire conversation. Ambassador just said, "Sorry, do you have a card?" Then he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir, I didn't come with a card." You know what the ambassador said? He said, "Can you allow me to enjoy my party?" I'm telling you what happened in real life. He said, "Can you allow me enjoy?" He said, "Because there's nothing you want to tell me here that will stick. But if I have your card, when I get home and I take a look at it, I will remember that a young boy spoke to me. I can contact you after." I saw sense to it. So if you're going to do such a fast pitch, keep it concise, go straight to the point, and focus on your unique value proposition. What do you do? Who are you? Talk about what you do immediately. Who are you? And if your value is of value to the person you are talking to, then that is it. You just hit the bullseye. Then number 3, practice and perfect your pitch. So that pitch you were about to do in the elevator was not something that met you all of a sudden. It was something you have been practicing over the years. That means you must have been pitching. You must have been continually talking about your values, what you do consistently. So when the opportunity came, it was not just going to be something that came all of a sudden. It was going to be a chance for you to grab your opportunity. Networking etiquettes. Next slide, please. I'm rushing because I'm being rushed. All right. Networking etiquettes. Number 1, make it professional. Make it, when it is business, make it professional. I've seen people who you built a network in business. Now, you just met someone, you took his number from a conference like this, and you are calling that person 11 o'clock in the night to say what? And you are there. I just wanted to say hello. Thank you for, it was nice seeing you today. 11. No, that's not right. Be professional about everything you're doing. And sometimes you don't even need to put a call through. All you just need to do is to send a message. Just send a message. They will read it whenever, and they will reply whenever they deem fit to reply. Number 2, which is what I'm saying, respect. Respect the space, respect their time, respect their person, respect whoever you are building a relationship or network with. Because your respect is what's going to make that relationship go far. A relationship without respect is a relationship that has died while it just started. Respect whoever you are building a relationship with. Active participation. So when you are talking, make sure you are responding. When you are doing stuff together, make sure you are part of it. This is not a back, you are not backing at the person, you are not backing others, or you are not sending instructions. If it is networking, especially when it is for business, make sure that you are involved in everything you are doing. Active participation, and lastly, follow up. Next slide, please. How do you maintain your network? How do you maintain it? How do you keep it going? How do you oil it and make sure that your relationship lasts as long? I have friends that I've had for 15. In fact, what am I talking about? I've had friends for 20 years and we still talk like we met yesterday. I've had friends for, I was going to say a story, and it was actually Honorable Dayo Israel's story. I was prepared to say that story here today, and I think I'm going to say that story. I'm going to say that story. It was 16 years ago. It was 18 years ago. Now,
Please, sir, don't say story that will get you in trouble.
it was 18 years ago. No, this will not get me in trouble, and I think we're going to learn from it. Now, I met Honorable Dayo Israel 18 years ago. Now, when I met him, I saw him. He didn't know me, but I had known him. He organized a program then called Youth on the Front Line. So this didn't just start today. Please, can you just put your hands together for him? The program was called London Youth on the Front Line. 2007. Yeah, 2007. He invited all my friends, except for me, to be speakers on that program. All my friends. I can mention their names because I'm still friends with all of them, and he knows. But he didn't know me. That was why he didn't invite me. It wasn't like he was, you know. So, and my friends were like, have you met this guy? This guy's doing great. Young guy, doing great in the city of London. That you're Israel. Who is this guy? Value. Who is this guy? So, I was like, I have to meet this guy. I have to meet him. So, a program was organized in 2008 by Pastor Afis Raji. I'm sure you remember him. Yes, sir. He came late to that program. He came late. Now, we were there and everything. But, you know, when Honorable Dayo came in, everybody went to him. Oh, man of God, how are you? This, that. You know. Then one of he's my friend and a big brother, Mr. Tundi Shola. He held my hand and took me to him and said, meet my brother, Tosin Gbadebo. Yeah. He said, oh my God, nice to meet you, sir. God bless you. Oh, he said every nice thing, and I knew that was where it ended. He left that place. He did not remember me. I'm sure he didn't know. I'm sure he doesn't know this story. But at least it was me that it happened to. So now, how do we now become friends? So there was now a particular program in Westminster that was being organized. He was supposed to be speaking at that program. I was not supposed to be speaking. But there was another friend of ours, Damilola Ogutayo, who was supposed to be speaking at that program. Now, the topic they gave Damilola, now we were young boys just doing youth programs everywhere, speaking, you know, doing all that, you know, making impact in town and everything. Now, I was more of the relationship speaker, sex education guy and everything. That was what I was doing then in my life, you know. I was a small boy. Now, Dami called me the night before and said, we call ourselves Bishop. That's just a name to just respect ourselves. It's not a big deal. So he said, Bishop, there is this topic they gave me. I don't know anything about this topic. I know it's your line. I don't know anything about it. Can we go to that conference together tomorrow and you speak on that topic? I'll just introduce you to them. And that takes a lot for somebody to say, they gave me a topic. It's not my line. I know it's your line. So I'll just see the topic to you. You be the speaker and I'll be the audience. And I said, oh, that's beautiful. So I went with him to the conference, and my friend here didn't, you know, he turned up at the conference, and after he had spoken, he had a seat, and lo and behold, the guy who has been trying to meet him got the microphone. And I started speaking. And after my session, I saw someone who said, wow, nice to meet you, sir. Where have you been all this while? I was like, I met you the other day now. I was like, I met you the other day and you smiled at me. Oh, wow, where have you been all this while? Wow, that was powerful. That was great. And I was like, because value was sensed, we became friends from them. Value. And that friendship 10 years ago is still growing stronger and will continue to grow strong. Maintaining networks, common communication, offering support, collaboration, and always appreciate your networks. Show appreciation. appreciation. Show appreciation. It's very important. Offer support. Collaborate. Next slide, please. I think I have 2 more slides and I'm gone. Next slide, please. Leveraging on your network. Always ask for advice. Asking for advice. How do you think we can do this? What can be done? Learn from those you are moving with. Learn from those you are networking with. When you learn from them, the relationship will build up. As they're learning from you, make sure you are always learning from them. Then seeking opportunities. Seeking opportunities. I'm not going to go too deep on that. Sharing knowledge. Nobody is an island of knowledge. Share your knowledge. Share your knowledge with your networks. And that is how you can grow a business well. And making introductions. Making introductions. Overcoming network obstacles. Yesterday, my friend, next slide, please. Yesterday, my friend, you remember him, Daria Kinlaja, right? What did he say he was doing in secondary school to eat? Answer me now. He was toasting girls for seniors. Aha. He said it himself. I didn't say it for him. So he said he was toasting girls for seniors he was collecting money from their hand. You understand? That was because he was a bold guy. Seniors could not toast the girls for themselves, but there was a guy who was bold, who could walk up to any girl, who could talk to anybody, who could start any conversation. And he was using that to make money. You understand? So how can you overcome all these obstacles? Eliminate that shyness. Eliminate that lack of confidence. Walk up to anybody. Stand tall. Raise your head high. Introduce yourself. Present your value. If they need it, they will come for you. If they don't need it, they will keep it somewhere in their mind because they just met a wonderful person who just spoke to them and they like you because of how you spoke. Even if they don't need what you are selling, they can offer you something else. They can offer you something else that you can do because they just love your personality. So make sure you have a sweet personality. Make sure you eliminate shyness, lack of confidence. Eliminate all distractions. And stop this fear of rejection. If they tell you no here, go for the next one. If they tell you no, go for the next one. Don't take no for an answer. And lastly, networking is a powerful tool for personal and professional growth. Start building your network today. Start building your network today because your network would always be your net worth. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, my name is Tosin Gbadebo. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give him a bigger round of applause. Can I have the logistic team? Can you please center the chair, the sofa, and get us one more chair on the stage? We're going to quickly have Uncle Aresh's fireside chat, and then so that we can now sit enough to, after the fireside chat, we then go into the next module of this training. There are different phases of this training. The first phase looked at you as an entrepreneur. And so we've taught you about networking. We've taught you about communication. We gave you a synopsis on building viable business, which was what was structure and processes. But it's part of module 4 and module 3. But from tonight, after Uncle Aresh, we now, up to tomorrow, we move into module 4, 5, 6, that then focuses on institution, your company, the organization. So the structure, the processes. I think we did some more thing about team as well, building a team. Haven't you enjoyed the session? Are you sure? Have you enjoyed all the speakers so far? Are you going to come back tomorrow? Please give yourself a big round of applause. And so Uncle Aresh would speak to us from his experiences. Can we move the sofa out? And then my chair should also not be too far from him and all of that. And then I need this taken away, the stand, so that everybody can see. We're going to have Uncle Aresh founded Pack and Shop. How many of you know Pack and Shop? That's now a big retail store. Okay, no, this will be put on that. No, it's going to. Okay, I want you to do that first. He's also the owner of Spars. How many of you have shopped at Spars before? I can't promise you any free voucher at Spars today, but you will hear how he's done it and how he's been able to be such a valuable enterprise chain of businesses. And he has many other businesses that is run since many years of being in Nigeria. And so we want to learn from him. He's a multi-billionaire. I'm sure you know that already. And so I know how many of us want to be billionaire. This is how many of you, how many of us? Us. So we want to learn. As a matter of fact, for the next 3 days, we are learning from billionaires. I have my friend billionaire or magnate Mahmoud Tuko who is coming. Another young billionaire is coming tomorrow. I think Ola Brown. I have to actually confirm if Ola is doing physical or virtual. She's an angel investor. Ola Brown is the one that founded Flying Doctors. So our company actually finances entrepreneur and businesses. She's a venture capitalist. So, you know, she's coming tomorrow. And if you have a viable business, she would be able to give that, you know, you can network with her and share your thoughts. Don't forget on Friday, we have the pitch session where you get to win ₦1 million. So one of the things we're doing with that is that we need to submit your ideas. You're supposed to have done that since yesterday. You've done that already. So I know that Amaka and Unjuara and Co are working on those of your ideas that have been submitted. By today, they should be able to. Amaka, when are they having feedback about the businesses that are going to the next stage of submitting their business plan, which will now then have a physical presentation? We expect that the DG of Smidan will be here in person on Friday. He said he prefers to be there than be here yesterday. So, but the Smidan team are coming because they're going to be here to supervise the pitch session and also will be presenting the ₦1 million to the winner of that competition. Zenith Bank is outside. They're opening an account for SMEs and also giving you free POS with that. So you can also sign up with Zenith Bank outside. Zenith Bank, where are your people here? Raise your hand now. We're not going to give you customer again. Oh. Okay. Account with them already. I'm sure that they can also get you, yes, a POS, free of charge, and all of that. But they're offering that. They have a scanner. As Corporate Affairs Commission is still outside as well. And then we still expect some more people to be here. What's the final thing I want to say? After that, so we're going to the process session. Tomorrow we'll talk about finances, how to raise funds, even cash bookkeeping and all of that would also happen tomorrow. But ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and singular pleasure to bring up one of Nigeria's own biggest entrepreneur, founder of Spars. I know you think when you're wondering, is he Nigerian? But he's also Nigerian. He's been here long enough to be considered in Nigeria. Exactly. So please help me welcome Mr. Aresh Keswani. You can keep clapping now. Okay, Uncle wants me to sit next to him. Okay, like I said, it's a sofa conversation. And I want to really say that, talking about networking, we were not supposed to do this event in Lagos. I had said I wasn't coming to Lagos, I was going to Ogun State. That Lagos has too many programs. Lagosians are used to all these events. They may not appreciate it. So I wanted to go to Abeokuta. And then Mr. Mojola said, no, I want you to come into Lagos. And you know, today we are in Lagos and it's been wonderful. Please help me celebrate him. Uncle Aresh, thank you very much for being here with us. And thank you for agreeing to share your knowledge and your story with us. First, can you tell us, how did you begin your entrepreneurial journey? And why Nigeria?
That's a very, very long story, yeah? I don't think we have the time today, but I'll try and just give you. I came to Nigeria when I was 20 years old. And
they want to jack Baza.
And I celebrated my 65th birthday just on Sunday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Please sit down, sir. You're the celebrant. Happy birthday to you. May the good Lord bless him. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless Uncle Aaron. The good Lord bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hip.
Thank you very much. I didn't expect that. So it's 45 years, and I was just told that most of you are in your late 20s or early 30s. So that just goes to show that in 45 years, my experience of this great nation is in abundance. And I've seen it all. I have seen it all. From a simple indicator that our Nigerian naira was $1.73 US cents when I came in 1979 to today we are at 1,500 naira to a dollar. We have seen it all. But that may sound very depressing. How can someone survive? Today, the most difficult question every youth, every person has is we are going through a difficult phase of our lives. All I have to tell you is fear not. We have been through that for the last 45 years and we have survived, and so shall you. So shall you, one and all. But to survive, Tosin made a great presentation on networking. He touched on communication, he touched on collaboration. He touched on basically for you to be transparent and genuine. That's the message he was trying to get across to you all. Your survival will definitely be based on your mindset. Your behavior comes after the mindset. So to go back to answer the question, why did I come to Nigeria? The truth is, Nigeria was not my destination. I was in transit. I was actually supposed to go to the neighboring country, Republic du Benin, Cotonou. That was my destination. My flight got cancelled in those days, and I had to stay in Lagos for 2 nights. And I just happened to meet someone. And that person said, "Are you a fool? What are you going to do in Cotonou? You should stay here." I said, "But Nigeria is a dangerous country. We hear of armed robbers. We hear of all these problems." They said, "It is true. But this country still has opportunities. If you invest in this country, the country will pay you back." Now, this is something which you must remember. We all want to receive. We all want to take. We do not even begin to advance our mental state of mind in preparation that what can I offer? What can I give? The first advice I received from this person was, if you invest, it will give you back. I took his advice and I stayed back. And that's 45 years ago. That's a long time.
45 years of transit.
Yes. Now, I want to tell you another confession. It has to do with fear. I was not afraid of armed robbers and this and that. But my only fear to go to Cotonou was language. Everyone knows our neighboring countries on both sides, Cameroon and Cotonou, the language is French. Is it not so? But my language is English. And I said, this one is going to be a possibly an escapist route for me because I don't know French. Maybe Nigeria is the place because of my language. And imagine that language made me stay here. With that language, we have grown our businesses here. With that language, I would say that I am blessed that today we are employing more than 3,800 employees. But remember, I came as an employee. Some of you are startups. Some of you are seeking employment. Some of you want to be an entrepreneur. Each of you potentially has only one thing common, that you are seeking growth. The growth which you are seeking cannot be self-centered. It has to include everyone. If it is a small business, everyone in your business. If you are part of a community, it has to include the community. My philosophy is, the more you give, the more you shall receive. And this is again what Tosin touched base upon, that you have to share knowledge. You also have to communicate what you know and what you can offer. Even in networking, it begins with what can you offer? But what do we see in today's youth? They want to network because they are looking, what can I collect? Is it not true? Is it not true? Let's be truthful now. It's true, right? When you see some daughters, females, sisters, the way they will be talking and behaving, you are very confused. What exactly is this conversation taking you? Professionalism is most important. In today's social media and multimedia, record yourself. Look in the mirror and record yourself. Look at your body language, how you express yourself. How do you see yourself? And then you start to change yourself. We are not judging anyone here because I have judged myself. Do not worry. I have been there. I have been in your shoes. I've also made mistakes. I've also mumbled. I've also expressed fear. I've also fallen. I've also faced rejections. So please do not have anything to worry. As long as you're hopeful, as long as you invest in yourself, I promise you, you will succeed. You will succeed. But for that, it is not as simple. I said so, it will happen. It has to come from your internally, from your soul. It has to come from your spirit. The most powerful thing in our body is not our mind and not our body. In us, there are three things: body, mind, and soul. I promise you, Our soul is the most powerful one. How do we use that? How do we convince ourselves? That is exactly what I was able to achieve at a very young age, which has taken me to this path. I know quite a few here people whom I have engaged for many years. One of them is Mr. Landre, the DG of Lagos Safety Commission. He and I have been engaging. He calls me uncle. That's my privilege. It's not my right. And I appreciate that. Our host today addresses me as uncle. It's my privilege. It's not my right. Understanding the difference between privilege and right will take you to the right path. We in Nigeria, we are all entitlement mentality. We want government should do this one should do this one. Sorry, what are we going to do? We are more powerful than one minister, than one governor, than one DG. If we collectively can provide, you will see how we are getting them to applaud us. God helps those who help themselves. It doesn't mean stealing, it means together we can make a difference. So instead of talking about the story, about how I started with an employment. I resigned. My boss was a Yoruba man. This is very difficult, but and that's where I started. 2 years later, when I resigned, my boss refused to let me go. He said, if you're leaving the colony, I am agreeing, but I cannot leave you. So he became my mentor. He helped me to start my business. He pushed me. And this Yoruba man, may his soul rest in peace, used to call me son. He said, you're my son. That I am also so happy that their firstborn, Olu, considers me to be his Egbo. Whenever he has problem, I'm the one entering their family matters to resolve their problems.
Uncle Aresh, I have one question at this stage.
So you got to understand, it's all about investing. That little time. So you have time, please invest, invest, invest. It is this investment which will give you the fruit, which is what you are seeing today. Thank you.
I don't mean to interrupt you. I only wanted to ask. So are you Yoruba or are you Igbo? Are you Hausa? Are you from Ijebu or from Oyo or from Malaysia? But I'm thinking Igbo because, you know.
I'm going to give you my answer. So be prepared. I'm a Nigerian first. We need to transform our way of thinking. Shiv Khera, one of the renowned mentors in India, said something very beautiful. He said, winners don't do different things. They just do them differently. I'm going to repeat. Winners don't do different things. They just do them differently. So today's winners, we say we are Nigerian first. Do we agree? Who are we?
Nigerian.
Who are we?
Nigeria.
Then we can talk about Yoruba, Igbo, Ijesha, Ijebu, Remo. We can talk all that. You hear? You get it, right? Because I'm in Lagos. I'm a host of Lagos State. I consider myself to be a Lagosian.
Eko. Eko Niba. Uncle, do you say Eko Nibaje?
Eko Nibaje. So to me, I'm a Lagosian. I love Lagos. I live here. My children were born here. They studied here. They went abroad. They studied and they all came back. So someone talked about Japa and all that story. In my family, it's not allowed. Oh,
Yeah.
this is your home.
So
This is our home.
So talking about family, what are the 5 advices that you've given your children about doing business in Nigeria? What would you consider top 5 wisdom that you've shared with them? And so consider all of us here as your sons. What is your 5 key message to us? This is a family meeting, and you are the elder of the family. 5 message call for business lessons that would help us grow our business in Nigeria.
I would start with the first to do with mindset. What's the mindset I'm referring to? It's our desires. How do we manage our desires? Surely we all have desires, right? Every one of you has a desire, correct? These desires can make you or break you. How do you balance your desires? My first advice would be break your desires in 3 boxes. First, write it down if you want to. The first box is the need box. NEED. Do you understand need? The next desires, break it up and put it in the want box. WANT, want. And the last box is the greed box. GREED, greed. Look at that boxes and decide for yourself which of the boxes you need to chase. You chase the greed box, you will know. Chase your want box, you will know. Chase your need box, you will know what it takes. My advice to my children is, need box is your most important box. Don't get distracted by the want box. And don't even go into the greed box. Don't even bother. Unless and until your need box is full, overflowing, you can go and flirt with the want box, but stay in the need box. You cannot get into the want box without completing your need box. Tell me, you're hungry. You're really hungry. Is it rice and stew you need, or you need candy? Which one do you need? Huh? And candy is what? Is it a need or a want? Thank you. So make the right choices. When you fail, you ask yourself, did I fail because I took a wrong choice? I made a wrong choice. That's the advice number 1. Second one, whatever you do, even for the need box, please do not forget to plan. Don't take an idea and start to jump into execution. Oh, please don't make that mistake. People have failed. Ideas are dime a dozen. It is the execution where the result lies. Ideas don't give you results. Execution gives you results. So plan very well. After plan, what can you do? Tell me, what is the thing you will do after planning? Huh? Execute, Abhi. Who said execute? Thank you. Please don't execute after a plan, oh. But there is something which is more important than planning. Do you know what that is? Preparation. That's where we all fail. You know, there's an old saying in our country. This man took 2 steps forward and then he had to take 1 step back. What is the meaning of that? How can somebody take 2 steps forward, 1 step back? Is somebody pulling him back? No. He had to go back because he forgot to prepare. Most of you men here should learn preparation from the women. Before they cook food for their family, they have already prepared. Oh. They go make sure they bring everything to the kitchen before they start to put the fire on. Is it not true, women? It's preparation. Please remember these 2 words, plan and prepare. If your plan is weak, you will fail. If your preparation is weak, you will fail. I'm giving you, that's my second piece of advice. Third, focus. Be rigor. You have to be very rigor. You will not see results, but believe in yourself and keep forcing yourself and believing that you're on the right path. You will feel it inside you on the path. You will not. Believe with your surroundings, your friends will tell you, this will not work. Oh. Listen to everyone, but do what your heart tells you. It's okay to listen to everyone, but follow your own heart. Is that clear? Fourth one. Please, it's important as entrepreneurs that you should know mathematics. Anyone who does not know mathematics, please go back to school. I have seen businessmen collapse, not because their ideas were bad, not because they did not plan, not because they did not prepare, not because they did not make money. They could not understand the difference between cash flow and profit. They think now cash flow is their money, so they can spend it. Even profit is not your money. You have to leave some in the business back so your business can grow. I have seen this. I heard Zenith Bank is here. I'm sure they will tell you many stories. Understand your accounts. Understand your numbers. As it is, our numbers are becoming very complicated. In 79, there was nothing like billion. Nobody even knew the word billion. Even million was very difficult because you could buy Coca-Cola for 10 kobo. Salary was 20 naira and 30 naira was the salary. The question is, today everything is in billions and it has lost value. So please, it makes it more important for you to understand finance, accounts, mathematics, simple arithmetic, but please do not believe the cash in hand is your profit. Manage that. Last advice. If you make some money, please use part of your profit for someone else's prosperity. Art of learning, you all have already gone through. You are getting into the life where you are going to now learn the art of living, where you start doing business, make some money. The next art, the most important art, is to learn the art of giving. How do you give? It doesn't mean money, oh. A smile is okay. Helping hand is good. Advice is good enough. It's okay. You start with that. It will become a habit. And when one day you have something extra in your pocket, you can give. It will come, you will get a smile on your face. When you see the joy on someone else, your soul will smile. So learn that and develop this at a young age. It's okay. He's not very happy. He's frowning. He says, I'm the one looking to collect. Where will I give? Is it not so? Huh? But that's the truth. But when you start developing your mindset, you see the abundance that will flow to you. Because the one who's giving you is him. You're only putting the effort. End of the day, the results lie in his hand. Do you believe it or not? Do you believe in that? Our job is to do the right thing. And all of this, I'll just put it in just one word. You have to make up your mind. Do you have a cash crop mentality or do you have a perennial crop mentality? Can someone tell me the difference between cash crop and perennial crop? Any one of you? Can someone tell me? Yeah. What's the difference between cash crop and perennial crop?
Okay. Cash crop. A cash crop is harvested annually, while perennial crops, they one is short while the other is over a long period.
This is very important for you to, because that will make you have a clear path for yourself. Do I want to be a cash crop mentality? Do I want to be a perennial crop mentality? That will differentiate you from the others.
Yeah.
And believe me, it's important. So pay attention. Who's going to give me?
Crops are the crops that can be exports, generating revenue for a country, while the perennial is sustainable. Thank you.
That's beautiful. Cash crop means you toil every season, you sow every season, you harvest every season. The year where your back is broken, that year you go hungry. The year you get drought, you go hungry. The year you have heavy rainfalls, floods, you go hungry. Do you understand that? A perennial crop is a business where you sow the seed, you nurture the plant, you praise it, you nurture it, you praise it, you allow it to grow. And in 3 years, up to 5 years, depending on what you are planting, but after that, what happens? What the lady at the back said, you have now a sustainable business. Every year you keep growing. And guess what? You can even replant those from those trees. The seeds which you collect, you can replant and you keep growing. From a single tree, you can have an orchard. And that's business. That's how businesses are grown. It's not difficult. Don't get worried. This is a very important points you must take and ask yourself. Don't let others tell you, because it has to come within you. I am a perennial crop farmer. Many of my friends who were with me in 79, they made their money, they are left, they're gone. They're not here. Even Nigerians, they have gone. They're not here. But I'm still here. Why? Because of the single fact that there's nothing I can take to my grave. Coffins have no pockets. Since I'm here, I build it here, I leave it here. How does it matter? What is your spirit telling you? This is important.
Thank you very much. Please give Uncle Arash a big round of applause. So we're going to take 2 questions before we let Uncle Arash go. 2 questions from the audience. If you have a question, please raise your hand. You have a question? 2 questions. Yeah. Okay, so the man in black, I need a lady from the side. Is that copper a lady? I need a lady. If there is none, then the copper can come forward. Okay. Oh, okay, you can ask the questions there. Okay, the copper first.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful deposition. The Nigerian market is actually very saturated, and businesses that are growing, you agree with me, in the 70s, in the 80s, even civil servants are collecting big money. My grandma said she was collecting 5 naira, and like 50 kobo is enough to sustain the month. But the market is saturated. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Everybody wants to go into business. Everybody wants to go into one career or the other. And it is very hard to strive in this current economy because of the saturation in markets. How do you think we can navigate this to be successful in every niche? Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll take the second question together. Where's the gentleman from over here? Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for the insights. My question is, what kind of skills will you say young people should possess in the present day Nigeria? I haven't seen 45 years of being here. That's to position them for the 21st century. Secondly, you talked about the government. We're always talking about the government doing one thing or the other. We all know that the government has a responsibility. So the second part of the question is, what should the government be doing to make life better for us as we have that mindset?
Thank you. Okay, Uncle, over to you.
Okay, so I'm going to mix both the questions. I'm going to give you one big answer. The word is saturation. I don't understand the word saturation. When your grandmother was talking about 50 kobo and 5 naira, the population of Nigeria was what? And what is the population today? Saturation is when the demand is less than the supply. So take it up in your head. That word is then called an escapist word. Anyone who is using that word is following the escapism. You want to be victorious, then you have a victor mindset. When you are waiting for government to help you, you have a victim mindset. So I'm sorry, I cannot be part of victim conversations. I cannot be part of escapist conversations, because those are not the mindsets of winners. You want to be a winner, make up your mind. You talk about saturation. Let me tell you where the problem lies today. The problem lies during your grandmother's age, when she was here. Surely those are in late 70s and early 80s. Trust me, we do not have much wants. We were happy with our food. We didn't have TV. We didn't have telephone. We were happy with the nature. We were happy with the weather. We were enjoying our garden. We were enjoying sitting under the tree. Today, You don't even look up at the sky because your head is on the phone. Let's be honest. Do you even look up at the sky? How many clouds are there today? No. And if someone says yes, let that person stand up, and I want to see his nose grow long because he's lying. It's the truth. We have lost focus. There are two people sitting next to each other. They will not talk. You will be talking on WhatsApp with somebody who is probably some other country. What is happening here? Our social skills have gone. We lost our social skills. I can tell you, we knew when we were young, we knew who our neighbors were. We called them aunties and uncles. Today, nobody cares about neighbors. See, we have to go back. I think my advice today is to reset button. We must all press our reset button. Put your thumb on your forehead and press your reset button. This button, press it hard. Everybody has to do themselves. Oi, I don't want to press a button. So please understand, we need to reset our lives. It's okay. It's okay what we did till yesterday. But remember, today is the first day of the rest of my life. Does anyone challenge that? No, today is the first day of the rest of my life. Let us reset our button. Let's understand how we are going to live our lives from today. What is going to be our mindset? How are we going to approach our life? Am I going to be waiting for the government to do everything? Am I going to be an entitlement mindset? Don't we have 2 hands, 2 feet, 2 eyes, 2 ears? You have everything. We can do it. Let's do it. We are the youth of today. And I can follow you as a youth myself, but I need you all to lead. We will follow you. Don't wait for somebody to lead you. You can do it. You have to believe in yourself. And with that, you must say, yes, I can.
Yeah.
Yes, I will.
Yes, I will.
That's the energy. Keep it going. Don't wait for government, oh, I beg you. Don't wait for anyone. We will do it. Today, private sector is larger than the government. In the 70s and 80s, was the other way around. Government was 90% spending the economy. Today, private sector is driving the economy. You are private sector. Is there any government person here? No, right?
Mr. Mujola.
No, forget about them. Forget about the host. The guests, we are all private sector, right? We have the power.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Arash Keswani. Please give him a big round of applause.
I hope that was okay.
How many of you felt that that was fire? Was that full of fire? Give him trick, bossa. Give him trick, Akira. Hey. Hey. Thank you very much, sir. Please give a big round of applause. That was a fantastic session. We're wrapping up. We're wrapping up. We have, I think, one more session to go because of time, because we know you are going into traffic as you head home. So I want to bring up on the stage quickly. Can you help me with the podium? I want to bring up on the stage my brother and friend, Mr. Fatai Olayemi, as he speaks and takes us into the practical element of building your Oh, sorry. Fundamentals of businesses. Fundamental business. Thank you very much.
Wow. Are we seeing the afternoon? Or evening already, right? Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. This is so interesting. Initially, I was a bit disturbed that Honorable Dayo asked me to speak about 2:30, but it was a bit delayed, a bit delayed. But like along the line, I was thanking him in my mind that thank you for making that delay happen, because I've actually learned a whole lot sitting down here. Our very own uncle. Thank you so much for that. Is he Egbo? Okay, our uncle. Thank you so much for that master class. It was like a mini MBA for me. I don't know for every other person, but it was like a mini MBA. Thank you so much. Part of what we learn when we do have a coach or a mentor, that's what we just enjoyed. What we enjoyed from him is like what we call group mentoring. And in that journey of entrepreneurship, the journey you can run for 10 years on your own, if you have a fantastic mentor like our own uncle, that journey can take you in less than 2 years, and you are there. So many of us have gotten a whole lot from you that we fast track the process of getting to the next level in whatever we are doing in our various businesses. So thank you so much. He has made my work so easy this evening. I'm going to make it very snappy because time is not on our side. I know so many of you are in our age to go home because of traffic. But this aspect we want to quickly touch on is very, very important, because before you go into something, you need to learn the basics, the fundamentals. It may look like, oh, this is what we hear every day, but we may be hearing without taking special interest in it, not really knowing that it's so important to what we are doing or what we are going to be doing. And that is why this business fundamentals is very important for us to quickly look at it before we go home. When I'm taking a program late in the evening like this, I like to come with a bit of icebreaker, because if care is not taken after our uncle's presentation, so many people may be sleeping, and I don't want that to happen. Is it possible we stand up for 1 or 2 minutes? Is it possible? If my guests are going to remain seated, I'm fine with it. But every other person, can we stand up? If we have been following Honorable Dayo Israel for a very long time, we are likely to know this icebreaker that I want to do, because he did it, I think, about 2 or 3 months ago, whether in Morocco or when he was in the US. What's the name of that icebreaker? Just give me 1 second. Let me bring it up for you. Who is that? You are too much and half. It's Atama. Who knows something about Atama? So can you lead us? Oh yeah, please come up. Come and lead us. I'm also going to join you. Quickly, because of time. Quickly, come and lead us. Okay, let's go. Do you want to lead us? Atama, you are demonstrating it. Come and demonstrate it first before people join us. Atama is just like once. Labaku is like 4 times. Labarina is like 10 times, so to speak. So, are we ready? Atama, 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 Labaku, Labaku, Labarina, Labarina. Hey, oh. Let's start again. Atama. Together, please. Atama, 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 Labaku, 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 Labarina. Labarina. Atama. Please have your seat. Thank you so much. Okay. Please, the next slide. Next slide, next slide. Next one because of time. So like I said, we're going to quickly talk about business fundamentals. As a business, what are those basic things you need to know? I like the fact that we've gone through learning stuff around soft skills, knowing so much about ourselves, ability to manage people around us. So knowing all those things, we now want to know about the business we want to run. So currently, as we speak in Nigeria today, businesses are the one driving the economy, like our uncle said. As of today, according to Smidan, we do have about 39.6 million NMSMEs. That's nanos, micro, small, and medium enterprises in Nigeria. About 80% of jobs created in this country comes from MSMEs, come from businesses, come from small businesses in Nigeria. So which means most of jobs are taken care of or are provided by small businesses in this country. So which means they are very relevant to the Nigerian economy. It means for you to toe that line, for you to decide that you want to run a business or you start running a business, it means you want to contribute to the progress, to the growth and development of Nigerian economy. So next slide, please. Let's make it snappy. Next slide, next slide. Okay. If we are talking about businesses, it's like a generic word, right? To you as an individual, what does a business mean? Someone said the other time, no answer is stupid, no question is stupid. So what does a business mean? Anyone, just say it as it comes to your mind. A growing concern, fantastic. Any other person? Okay. It's a means of finding how to survive. Okay, means to survive. Okay. Someone was raising hand over there. Okay, quickly. It is act of buying and selling. That, yeah, trading.
All right, sir.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Business is an exchange of goods and services for free or in exchange of for money, right? Okay, fantastic.
Sir.
Say that again.
Yes.
Okay.
So for me, business.
Please.
So for me, business is the act of buying and selling of goods and services in exchange of value.
Fantastic. Please, starting from him to everybody that contributed in the last 2 minutes, please help me clap for all of them warmly. They've all defined businesses. Businesses is like you are providing service or you are providing products in exchange for money. But the only difference here is some businesses are not profit-oriented. Because as we've defined it now, it's like we are talking about profit-oriented businesses, right? But there are some businesses that are impact-focused. Are we aware of them? Can anyone give me an example of an impact-focused business? Okay. NGO, any example of NGO in Nigeria? Yeah. Okay, fantastic. Any other one? Rotary, fantastic. Leap Africa, Faith Foundation, Tony Elumelu, and the rest of them. Okay, so we've all defined businesses, and legally in Nigeria today, we have some types of businesses. Just let me know. Who knows those types? types of businesses legally in Nigeria. Sole proprietorship, right? That's an enterprise. Have you ever seen certificate of a registered business before? So on the top right of that certificate, what do you see? There's always a number. Say that again. RC something something. So when you see BN, thank you. When you see BN, that means such a business is an enterprise, is a sole proprietorship, right? But when you see RC, after the RC, like 4 or 5 digits, that is what? A limited liability company. I hope we're on the same page. So then we can have partnership. Partnership is more or less a sole proprietorship as well. It's just like 2, 3 other people, come together to form that business. So let's move so fast. The next slide. Okay, what are those business fundamentals that we are talking about? So next slide. Someone said the other time that business is not like an emotion. It's not something you are just offering for free. You are doing it for a purpose, right? First, probably to make a profit. The other one is for you to make impact, depending on the kind of business you want to run. But in all of them, these basic 4 things or 5 are very common. And like I said, these are things you've been hearing on a regular basis, but we may not be, taking it so seriously. But if you want to run any successful business, you must, take care of all these things. Of course, there are more other things, but basically, you need to consider all this. Before you venture into any business, you need to think about what we call innovation. It doesn't mean you are starting something new, but what that means is the fact that what you want to do is not something you just come up with. It's something you need to check with people. I listened to someone yesterday that was asking you, say to your neighbor, what is your problem? It sounds insulting, right? It's not at all. If you are starting a business, there is every need for you to carry out what we call survey. Like a simple research to look into the environment where you want to run that business. What are the problems, that need solution from your own end? The intention here is the fact that you want to solve a problem. You want to address needs. Am I right? Are we on the same page? So you don't start any business on the basis of, oh, they said people are making money from, this also ABC business. I want to venture into it. If you start, you make money for a few years, that business is still going to crumble. The basis is the fact that you want to solve a problem or you want to address a need for some set of people. And while you are solving that problem, you are making money. And that money will be what? Will be sustainable. So the first part is, market research. You do market research. While doing that, you generate different business ideas. After listening to people, their problems, you generate ideas. But not all the ideas generated that can be addressed by only you. So you need to streamline those ideas, right? When you streamline, what happens next? You now develop that innovative solution from your own end to address that idea. Are we on the same page? So this is the starting point for any business. You don't just wake up and say, oh, I'm starting up a business. Permit me to drink this water. So if we're on this page, because of our time, let's move to the next slide quickly. So now you've developed a business solution that you want to use to address identified problem, right? But And I want to emphasize something in this marketing. We hear marketing, all of us, we've been talking about 4 P's of marketing, 6 P's, 8, some people even say 18. I've even heard more than 8 P's of marketing in the past. But the reality is, this marketing of a thing is so central to your business success such that you need to pay so much attention to it. There are some people, they are very good in terms of technical aspect of their business. Very sound, A to Z, that business, they know it. But when it comes to engaging people know what their own business solution is going to do to solve a problem and communicate it. And that is why it is always very important. If you are very good technically, but in terms of communicating your business idea to other people that will benefit from it, if you cannot do it, you get other people to do it for you. But the point I'm making here is the fact that this is a core. It's very, very important when it comes to business fundamentals. So marketing is just like making people feel, feel to buy your solution. Your ability to communicate this such that people feel, oh, this is something that's going to be relevant to me, that's going to address a problem, that's going to, solve a problem for me. And they feel it, and they're able to identify with it to the extent that they are ready to put their hand in their pocket to buy it. That's what they call marketing. So whether you are talking about 4 P's, those are the elements of marketing. Of course, what you want to market, there must be a product or service that you are marketing, right? There must be a price to it, isn't it? There must be a place where that is happening. And then you must be able to promote, probably through incentive or whatever you've chosen. Buy one, get one free, right? So marketing is critical. Then marketing, the whole essence of marketing is to be able to end up in selling to your target customers, isn't it? So when you speak a lot of grammar in terms of getting people to know, to feel your product, and for them to be able to, appreciate it, the end point of it is for you to create sales channels. After you must have, said all those sweet things, at the bottom, click on this button to order for, don't just speak your product and now get this product from. How do we get it? So there must be of that product or service to people. The end point is for them to be able to buy, either through a website that has a payment gateway that they can click on and finalize everything, immediately. So next slide, because of our time. So the second part is what our uncle talked about the other time: money management. Say it, everyone, money management. Finance is very critical in your business. And that is why they say the language of any business is number. Whether you are a lawyer or who else doesn't like figures, whether you are whatever, you must understand the language of figures. If you are going to run a successful business, it's so central to everything you are doing. Even if you have taken that business to the level where you could hire an accountant to do it for you, you must even understand what the accountant is saying. Sometimes they speak accounting jargon, and because a lot of millions is involved, you are just shaking your head as if things are really going on well. Things may not be going on well. You are hearing millions in terms of income, but you're not thinking about where money is going in terms of expenses. You're not able to balance it. Okay, this is the income and this is the expenditure. By the time we deduct expenditure from the income, what does it come to? So figure is very critical for every one of us if we are going to run a successful business. They always say cash flow is the life wire of any business, right? If you cannot manage how money comes into your business and how it goes out of that business, then that business is in trouble. You hear something around receivables and payables. You are going to pay a whole lot of, you are only focusing on, oh, we are expecting this in terms of income. We are expecting X millions of naira in terms of income within the next 1 week. But you are not thinking, let's say you are expecting income of 10 million naira into that account within the next 1 week. But you forgot that there's some vendors you are going to pay, and the total sum is about 15 million naira. You're only focusing about 10 million coming into that business, but not thinking about 15 million naira that you need to spend. By the time you weigh 10 million naira that is coming in, with that of 15 million you need to spend, what does it come to? It's not even lost at this time. Is that the business is not going to survive within that 1 week if you are not taking care of that 5 million naira gap. So knowledge of what comes into your business and what goes out is very, very important, and we need to take proper care of it. So bookkeeping. This is where so many small businesses fail. Let me be sincere with you. At least in the last 10 years, I've been dealing with businesses in Nigeria, across the country. This is one of the critical areas where so many businesses fail and why they find it so difficult to access finance to support their businesses. If you ask, I know we have so many of us running businesses here already, why some are aspiring to do so. If you ask you ask 10 entrepreneurs, what was the level of your turnover, in the last 1 year? 8 of them, is likely to stammer, struggle to give you, if you are familiar with it, this is something you follow on a monthly basis. If anybody is asking you, you don't need to stammer now. Instantly, you're able to, within this range. But so many entrepreneurs in this country stammer because of this. So what I'm saying in essence is the fact that this aspect is critical. First, if you are going to get that business to a level where you are going to need other people's money to grow it, record keeping is critical. Okay? Whether in terms of your sales, in terms of stocks, and so many other records that you need to take care of in that business. Very, very important. Please don't take it as a joke. Sometimes because the business is very small, right? We are the CEO, we are the accountant, we are the general manager, we are almost everything in that business. But we must still find time to do it. And that is why we have some tools. There are so many tools out there, some apps that can help us do it. Even just as simple as Excel. If you cannot invest in buying some tools, you can use Excel after the whole, running around. Just create like 10 minutes to just put it, in proper shape so that you can track it. Sometimes, because you are not an accountant, you are not able to produce income statements, all other statements that may be required. But the fact is, because you keep adequate record, if you need to give it to an accountant after a month, 2 or 3, you can give it to the accountant, and the accountant is able to run with it within just few hours, and the person is able to present a reasonable report to you that explains all those income statements, balance sheet, and the rest of them. All start from keeping appropriate record of your financial transactions. So I've spoken to that financial statement. Of course, we all know what income statement is. Do we understand what income statement is? If you do, say yes. If you don't, say no or me. Okay. So income statement is just what we explained the other time, your income and expenditure. And at the bottom, the difference you have, whether profit or loss. So this is very important because at any point in time, you need to know how well your business is doing, right? Are you on track in terms of making profit? The reality is not all not all businesses that will make profit at early stage, right? But your understanding of your progress is critical, even when you are not making profit. And you could see clearly why you are not making profit at that particular point in time. Perhaps you need to invest so much in equipment, a lot of immovable asset and the rest of them. And that consumes a lot of money. So that could be the reason. But you have a good understanding and you could see your progress over a period of time. So balance sheet is like your, can anyone help me? Balance sheet. What does it mean to you? What does it mean? No accountant in this room. Or we are tired. What that condition, what does assets and liability,
Yes.
right? So that is where you see, oh, what is your own asset in whether current or what's
Yes,
the other-
sir. Balanced sheet, sir.
Okay. Where is it coming from? Okay.
Well, I'm not an accountant, but I can try.
Okay.
Yeah. A balance sheet is where you put all your fixed assets, then your current assets, your capital, your liability, your net loss, and all sorts. So that, and the A must be balanced with the B.
Exactly. And that is why it is called balance sheet. But if it is not balanced, what happens? That means something is wrong, right? So the one side is asset and the other side is liability, and both must balance. So knowledge of this is very important. Then we've talked about cash flow statements. So let's move to the next slide, please. Okay, so why is this so important? I think one of the points given to us by our uncle or the speaker before him was the need for us to plan, isn't it? So what we use to plan in a business is called what? A business plan. So business plan is just like something you use. It's like a document that you use to communicate what your business wants to achieve in terms of your focus, your objectives, your goals, and how you want to achieve it, including resources, whether human or material resources that you are going to use to achieve that goal. That's the whole essence of a business plan. For a small business in some other clime, they don't require a business plan. Once you have a good understanding of it, you can run it for a while, then you come up with your business plan. But in Nigeria of today, at least Nigeria that I know, particularly for some of you that would like to raise funds, and for me, whether grants or low-cost loans, it is always very important to take your business to the next level. So if you are going to find yourself at that level where you are going to be requesting for money from other people, having your business plan is critical. Is very, very, very important. Of course, like I said, it is just going to state clearly what you want to achieve in that business, how you want to achieve it, and resources that you are going to use, including your financials that we talked about. Is it going to make financial sense at the end of the day? Those are the things that will be stated in the business plan. And that business plan, I know we are going to talk about business plan later, probably tomorrow or next. That business plan is only tool or only document that you can use to communicate your business to some stakeholders, whether a bank where you want to get money from, or a partner that you want to work with. Someone was talking about if you meet Dangote in the lift, even if you are able to communicate, like if Elijah was able to communicate well with Dangote, probably the next thing he's going to ask you is, okay, could you send a copy of your business plan to me? So it is an instrument that you use to communicate your business to stakeholders. Like I said, whether banks, partners, board members, or investors in your business. So it is very, very important and is a key element, of your business. So the next slide. I think we're almost done. I only listed out about 4 things as basic fundamentals. Of course, there are a number of other things that you need to know. But your knowledge of those 4 things are very, very, very basic to the success of your business. But again, knowing all these things, capturing all those elements, all those fundamentals I talked about, does not promise you that your journey of entrepreneurship is going to be very smooth. We listen to our, to our uncle. Running a business in Nigeria, even everywhere in the world, you are always going to have like your low time and high time. So which means your journey of entrepreneurship, your journey of running a business is likely to be rough. It may not be as smooth as you expected. But what will keep you going, right, is for you to be innovative with your idea, for you to remain focused. I know one of our speakers talked about being focused. You must be focused, you must be highly disciplined, and you must be resilient. With all those things, I believe sky will not be your limit, but your beginning in running your successful business. Thank you.
I believe we can do better than that. Let's put our hands together for him. Do you have any question, please? We'll be able to take 2.5 questions. 2.5 questions. One. Where is the question coming from? I don't know. You have just one question. Please go ahead.
All right. Thank you for the lecture. All right. Talk about business. We're looking at about the business plan and some risks that are involved in business and the business plan. Now, I've been on one hand, you have a sustainable business plan and you are running a shoe cobbling business and you are making sales regularly and you have a sustainable business plan. But you are having challenges in terms of scaling that business. How do you manage or how do you collate your business plan to be able to get to where you want to be in that business challenge of that shoe cobbling? That's on one hand. On another hand, you are not making profits, but you want to make profits. And for you to be able to make profits, I need more funds. But I can't get funding until you see the profitability in my business. So how do I scale through? Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a fantastic one. Let me start from the last one. To make it very clear, before you raise money, you do not need profit to raise money to support your business. No. In fact, some VCs support startups that have high potential to access markets, to grow without making anything. They support them, they give them, millions of dollars, thousands of dollars. So the point I'm making is the fact that you do not need to make profit before you access support to grow your business. Let me give you an instance. Sometimes we underrate our journey. A business that you start with 500K 2 years ago, as of today, you are turning over about 5 million naira in that business. But because the other person sitting close to you is saying his own business is about 100 million naira worth of a business, you are feeling within yourself that my business is not doing well. Forgetting that your own business, probably you start from retail, selling 1 naira, 5 naira, 10 naira. 2 years ago. From 500, you are now 5 million naira today. But in his own case, perhaps his own business is real estate. If he sells one house, it could be 20 million, 30 million naira. So you are not operating at the same level. And your growth can actually be greater than his. So it's the growth that is, there's a what we call it, your traction really matters. It doesn't necessarily mean, oh, I'm making profit or I'm doing 1 million naira, I'm doing less than 1 million naira. Is that growth? Where did you start from? How did you start? Without anybody's money, you invested your own 500 2 years ago and it is now 5 million naira. Do you know what that investor will be calculating in his mind? That if this gentleman could use his own 500 naira and 5 million naira, 500 million naira. That's what he thinks in his own mind, and he's calculating his own percentage that he's going to be making from that money. So it makes sense to him immediately. So it's not about, oh, you've made so much profits in the last 1 year. That is what is going to earn you fund from other people. No. And scaling your business, I think that's where you started from. It is always important to keep your business plan flexible, right? Because you are not going to be doing the same thing over and over again. The intention is to grow. You are starting from point A, and your business plan is addressing that point A as of today. But you are projecting the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. We are going to be doing this, but you are not there yet. In fact, that gives you enough opportunity to convince an investor, because you can say clearly, we started 1 year ago, we planned to do ABC. Now we've done it, even surpassed it. No matter how little it is, you plan to do, let's say 5 billion naira, you've been able to do 7 million naira. It may be small to you, but it's a whole lot. So if you are now speaking to an investor, we've been able to capture Surulere market. Our intention is to cover Lagos market within the next 2, 3 years, right? And we need 10 million naira. We need 15 million naira to be able to do that. You've convinced me already, because if you could use that 500 to cover Surulere market within 2 years, and you have that result to show for it, I'm convinced that if I give you that 15 million naira, you'll be able to capture Lagos market within that stipulated time that you've told me. So, yeah, and from there, you are growing. So scaling up, if you are doing well at that little space, and you have a good understanding of how you can get to the next level, so your business plan will be everything, if I could use that word. What you are indicating on that business plan is the fact that this is where we are right now, and we want to get to this level. This is what is required to get us there. That is indirect ask in your business plan. It must be clearly stated in that business plan. So when I read through it, I could see the gap that you want to address. And I could see where you are coming from, your growth. I'll be able to decide, to support that business to get it to where you want to take it to. I hope I've been able to answer your question. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
We promised 2.5.
It was just one question we had.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. Please, let's put our hands together for him. So we are gradually coming to an end of day 2. I want to celebrate all of you who are here till this time. Celebrate yourself, please. Put your hands together. You have been clapping for other people. Clap for yourself. All right. So we received information that a lot of you were not able to get the link yesterday. And some of you, your phone died. Some of you, your phone was stolen. Yes. But they did not steal it here. They stole it before they came for the function. By and large, our leader has decided that he wants a more inclusive competition. If it was up to me, exactly, they should be punished for something. But then our leader said we should have more inclusion. so that it be competitive, and I understand from that dimension. So our media team, could you please put the link up so everyone who was not able to capture it yesterday, they can get it now. Also, those that were not able to copy out the link itself, they can use the barcode to get access to the information. Did we enjoy ourselves today? Did you enjoy yourself today? I think I'm in your way. We can all see the link, right? All right. So while we are still copying the link and doing all of that, I want to call somebody up to the stage, a man I respect a lot. I was just telling him that he has a knack for identifying potentials, and he has done that severally, and he'll continue to do that. Please join me as I make welcome the convener of this program, I don't know a lot of Yoruba. I wanted to give him one small, what he said. That is rubbish, not what he said. Please put your hands together as I make welcome Honorable Dayo Israel, the National Youth Leader of the APC. Is that how you are clapping for?
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I want to thank all of you who have been here and who have continued to stay till this evening. The pitch has been extended. I am also still working out to see how we can get more people to support funding. So pitch, everybody should pitch your ideas. They'll be selected and scaled down to a certain number based on the ideas and your presentation and what you've submitted. For those who will now submit their business plan. While we have a prize for the first winner, which is $1 million, I want to see if I can get more people to also support, not just even during the program, but even after the program. So the goal is that I haven't told my team that, whoever comes second and third too, I'm going to make efforts to also see how we can get somebody. This is our party. We should be able to go to one governor or senator and say, please, we need 1 million naira for this person. You understand? So that's part of the thing we should be doing for the youth wing. So if you are from Lagos East, we'll go to our bureau and say, distinguish, business plan, they're passive. Oh yeah, and why invest in where? Abi yoda. So, and if it's Lagos West, we go to Mama Adebule and all of that. Yeah, from Ogun State, DA is going. DA is, how was that? DA is moving. Yeah, you know I'm there. Yes. Yes, okay. Okay, I want to say a big thank you. Please let me give Njoara a conference clap. Where's Rufai? Give Rufai another conference clap too. Give Amaka and all the team behind the scene, Tunde, Sheon, Akin, Miracle, everybody, Temi, Emmanuel, everybody behind the scene who are working to make sure that we're doing well. Gender, please give them a conference clap. Don't give Toby a conference clap, give him a conference chair. And Tayo and Tomiwa and all the guys behind the media. We have been loading up the social media space. Thank you. I want to thank all our media partners. I think that we're in almost every newspaper today, and they've done a very good job talking about what we're doing. Thank them very much. Let me not delay you because we're back here again tomorrow. Please, let's try to be early, and we will prepare for you. I also assure that by the grace of God, your tea break will be on time tomorrow. The reason why it was delayed today was because the water came late. The tea break was here, but they didn't want to serve it without your water. Now the water for tomorrow has been dropped in advance, so there's no reason for any delay tomorrow. And then your lunch would also be on time tomorrow. Of course, I think that was also on time today. Although I had told them to cut down on the numbers because I wasn't sure that everybody that came for the opening ceremony would also come back. But apparently, I told them to close down some tables Let's see how it goes. And I'm surprised all every table was also. Thank you all. Everybody ended up showing up today, even from Abuja. Even we just saw the email this morning. Just expect you. Please be on time so that we can also start on. It's fantastic tomorrow. We have another billionaire coming to speak tomorrow, my friend Mahmoud. Then we have Fatai will continue with his session. Then a few other business people are speaking. Let me confirm what tomorrow looks like so you can be aware. We have a new Blue Ocean strategy and the fireside Mahmoud. We have my friend all the way. He's landing from Ondo State. His name is Smart Francis. He's the special advisor to the governor of Ondo on entrepreneurship. He's the founder of the Entrepreneurship Village in Ondo State. He's also the president of AYE, Africa Young Entrepreneur. And is flying, they do their events in South Africa and all of that. You know, it's a big one on entrepreneurship. And by the grace of God, weather being good, I told him to arrive today. So I'm hoping he has arrived today because he said he wants to land tomorrow morning. I said, I don't trust that airline. Before they say there's no weather visibility, he should come in today. So I hope he has arrived today. He's our first speaker tomorrow and is speaking on the DNA of an entrepreneur. Somi is hot, is fire. You're going to enjoy him. Then we have my billionaire friend. Then we have Fatai, who will run 2 sessions. One session will focus on evaluating your business idea, how to do your market research and analysis, competitive advantage, how to identify your, create your own unique selling point, your market visibility and test, developing your business plan. He's going to run a business plan session tomorrow. We're expecting to lead you. So you are going to break into workshop to do your draft business plan. Don't forget that business plan, you submit it for your pitch as well. So in your groups, you are going to work on. So if you have a laptop, bring it tomorrow because it's going to lead you into breakout session to actually do your own draft. Or yeah, do your introduction. What are the chapters that should be there? Your table of content is going to break all of that down to you and all of that. Of course, it's not going to help you do your whole full business plan. That one you pay for consulting, but at least it will give you the basics of writing your business plan and the strategic framework, then setting marketing goals and objectives. Then after the break, we would also have the business model canvas and lean startup methodology, where we now look at pitching and presenting your business idea, which you are going to need for Friday, understanding business ideation, domesticating your ideas, understanding your business ecosystem, building strategic partnership, and building a value chain structure. Then we will have Mr. Leslie George come and run a session on strategic thinking. That is very important. There are 3 levels of thinking, not really 3, but there are various levels of thinking. There's tactical thinking as the baseline. There's strategic thinking at the top. One of the things I learned from Joycey today, how many of you enjoyed Joycey, by the way? I think that was another fire session. And Joycey and it's like Sumi Smart. So they are motivational speakers and all of us. So they will fire you on tomorrow. Joyce, I love the story of how, because I went to that Oriki store on Awolowo Road, you know it, on that Alfred Iwane Ikoyi. I put my feather pillow there like 2 years ago, you know, and look at it, you know, that business, seeing that story of how it started. And now they're in airports, they're in hotels, they're in MM2 in the center. When you come out to that security place, you see that white place where there's mattress and bed and all of that in MM2. When you're flying, that's their Oriki store as well at the airport. I think that was a fantastic session. So, you know, we're going to be doing strategic thinking tomorrow. Then after that, we'll have lunch. After lunch, we have design thinking. There's a difference between strategic thinking, design thinking. Then we will now close with, you know, reviewing or maybe even announcing it by that time they've reviewed your submission. I'm hoping that they will publicly announce those selected to go on to pitch on Friday, tomorrow night. Of course, with Smidan, by the grace of the Almighty God. So that's what tomorrow looks like. Be here on time. I wish you safe journey back home. I wish you journey messes. Every selfie and photos, we'll do that tomorrow so that we can all go home on time tonight. I love you. God loves you more. I feel like I'm a pastor in church. Shall we share the grace and fellowship? May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, the sweet fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen. Look at your neighbor, say, surely, surely, goodness and mercy shall follow you all the days of our life, and we shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. And to my Muslim brothers and sisters, wabi lai taufik. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ ṣe kòǹgẹ́ rẹ̀ ṣe lọ. Subhana Rabbika, wọ́n fi sátì àmáyá sí fún. Sọ̀dọ̀ Àlàbí Karim, ẹ̀yàn bọ́ ànábì, ẹgbọ́n lọ́n tóbi.